Hello, dear viewer, and welcome to 10 years of the Dirvinator. This is my first live-action live stream. I'm not sure why it's so cramped, but yeah. I haven't done a scriptless ramble in many years, so I'm going to forget things, I'm going to ramble, and yeah. But basically, today is the 13th birthday. I prefer the 10th anniversary. Sounds cooler than birthday. But yes, on the 7th of December 2009, I created my YouTube channel, which wasn't called the Dirvinator at that point. And, well, because everything's like US, it was the 6th in the US, and it's the 6th today, so technically tomorrow. But who cares? Who cares? My channel is 13, but when my channel turned 10 in 2019, I wasn't really in a position to be making many videos. We'll get to that. We'll get to that, okay? But basically, I wanted to do something then, but I thought, well, hang on. I changed my name to the Dirvinator at some point, so I might as well just wait and do it 10 years after I turned the Dirvinator. So for the last 3, possibly 4, but mainly 3 years, I've planned on doing something big for the whole, 10 years of Dirvinator. Or 13 years on YouTube sort of thing. And I'd planned it. I was going to do a really in-depth video, going through year by year, the history of my channel for anyone that cares. And I'd hoped maybe by the time I get that point, I'll have a little bit of a following. And yeah, I'd say 40 Doctor Who fans is a bit of a following. But still, you can tell I'm not used to rambling off the cuff. I've just woken up, basically. I was going to do this in my pajamas, but I thought, bright orange shirt might wake me up. It's not working. Yeah, so I wanted to do this big 10 years of Dirvinator thing, and then for the whole week I would do I would finish the Ratchet and Clank review from 2016. I would upload my first ever edited video, which I didn't ever release because it was bad, and just cool stuff like that. Just things that I thought, would make it a kind of celebration of this thing that I've created. But recently I was like, hang on, I didn't change my name to the Dirvinator at the same time that my channel turned a certain age, so it wouldn't even make sense. And basically, mental health, not doing great at the moment, and I didn't do anything. I'd planned this for years, but just didn't end up making anything. The fact that I got that 10 birthdays video done, and the Paramore video done, that was a big deal. The fact that I actually made these things that I had plans of. But this is just another thing that I've planned and not gone through with. And at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. It would only matter to me. Just the fact that I would have done something for it. But instead, you're getting this live stream instead. We're 3 minutes in and I'm still rambling. Golly, gosh. Okay, so. What shall I begin with? I know. How about the prologue? So it's 2007 or 8. YouTube's a thing. It's not big, but it's growing. And I'm sitting on the sofa. How old was I in 2008 or 9? I would have been 12, 13. Anyways, so I'm sitting on the sofa with my cousin Shantae, and she whips open her flip-top cell phone and she plays something for me. She's like, check this out. And it's French hip-hop. It's like a rap song, a really crusty video. In fact, I can't even remember it was a video. I just remember the audio, and it was hip-hop. And it was French, which, for a teenage kid, it was confusing. I'm like, whoa, okay. She's like, this is really cool. It's on YouTube. You should create an account. And I'm like, but you have to be a certain age to create an account. She's like, pfft. Which, yeah, kids can just create accounts and say they're a different age. But anyways, so that was kind of the moment I was like, okay, maybe I should, because I think you needed an account, not just to leave comments, but it helps to have an account rather than just watching videos and then not having a history or anything like that. So 2009 I created the YouTube account known as DJ Goodlooking. Yes, it was cringe. That was my first ever username when I was 12 years old on RuneScape. And it was the first time I used the name. And then the second time I ever used the name was when I created the YouTube in the same year. So I was stuck with that name for a while. And unfortunately, the PlayStation Network, which is now Sony Entertainment Network, I'm still stuck with that name. I know that in 2020, they introduced the option that you could change it. You could change your username at least once. But they said that if you do that, it could muck up certain online games on the PS3 era and maybe muck up your trophies. And I'm a trophy hunter, and I'm like, whoa. I don't want to muck that up because I'm still big into my PlayStation 3. Again, as you'll see shortly. So I didn't change it and I'm stuck with DJ Goodlooking. So anyway, 2009, the beginning. is when I created my YouTube account. Now, at the time, 2009, this was before Doctor Who, before The Walking Dead. The only TV shows I ever watched were, Ninja Turtles, Transformers, and The Amazing Race. Yes, really. So I didn't have any major hobbies or anything. It was just Ratchet and Clank. So what did I do when I created my accounts? Well, I uploaded my first video, didn't I? Ladies, gentlemen, non-binaries, everyone, prepare yourself to witness the origins, the genesis, the beginning of the Dirvinator. Thrilling stuff. Falling sheet. 5.7 thousand views in 13 years. Yeah. The next one along is an infamous 2 glitch, which you think, okay, that's the second video. No, it wasn't. In 2009, I didn't do much with this account at all, except for uploading random stuff. It was 2010 when I had just recorded with my crusty 1 megapixel cell phone, an unboxing, Modern Warfare Hardened Edition, some glitches like Assassin's Creed, and of course the Sky TV where the mute button was on the screen, but it wasn't muted. Yeah, fascinating. But what was my bread and butter? What was someone who had just created a YouTube account and didn't know what on earth they were doing? What was he doing? Well, I would copy videos I liked, as in I would download them to an MP4 format to put onto my PlayStation Portable and watch later, and re-upload them. Now, I know that's plagiarism, a big deal these days, but back then it was just kind of people just re-uploaded videos from anywhere, the early days of YouTube. Now, I don't want you to think that I was super scummy about it. It wasn't like people's edited videos. It was clips. So I had, every time the BBC would upload a promo clip for the upcoming 11th hour special, not special, basically Doctor Who Series 5, Episode 1, because 2009 is when I got into Doctor Who. So I would just upload every clip. So I had lots of Matt Smith and Karen Gillan clips just re-uploaded on my YouTube account. Things like the Modern Warfare 3 trailer, as soon as that was uploaded. This is original Modern Warfare 3, by the way, not this modern version. Anyways, I uploaded that, and I wondered why I wouldn't get any views. But the big thing, this is kind of a big deal. This is what, I don't want to say put me on the map, but what got me millions of views is I uploaded, in 10-minute chunks, mind you, because, back in the day, you could only upload 10-minute videos. You couldn't go above that. And if you could, I can't remember how they did it, how they introduced it. You needed a certain amount of following or something. But anyways, so I uploaded in 10-minute chunks, I think there were 7 of them, the Doctor Who movie. The 90s Doctor Who movie with Paul McGann in 10-minute chunks. My channel was the one that had that on it. And that's what gave me millions. And I do mean millions of views. Like I said, when I originally wanted to make a proper 10th anniversary or birthday video of my channel or whatever, I would have edits. I have plenty of screenshots saved from over the years. Oh man, it was going to be an actual video, not this rambling live stream. So I have screenshots of how many views I used to get for it. And I had so many, so it was mostly just random videos. My first ever copyright strike was Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 1 trailer, I think, because it was on an exclusive DVD you got with Lego Harry Potter years 1 to 4, and that was the first time I got a copyright strike, was uploading that to YouTube. But yeah, it was just a lot of stolen clips. So ironically, I think people that watch me today think I'm a Doctor Who YouTuber or a Who-tuber. I'm not. I promise I'm not. It just so happens to be what I've dedicated a lot of videos to the last couple of years. But yeah, when I first got into Doctor Who, absolutely loved it. So from 2009, 2010, even 2011, it was just all Doctor Who re-uploads and various other things. As you can see, there was Modern Warfare 3. That was the cool thing. I couldn't make proper videos because it didn't have an editing software or anything. This is going to be a funny story for you. But Modern Warfare 3, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 had this weird vault, feature where you could save a video clip and then upload it to Facebook or YouTube. Now, YouTube didn't work in New Zealand, but you could upload it to Facebook, which back in the day, you could download a video off Facebook easy. You didn't need a website for it. You could just, tap and hold, save it, like you could save a photo. So I uploaded to Facebook and then download it and put it on YouTube. Now, the the videos were glitched. Like, it wouldn't play properly, as you can see. It's like frozen, and then this. It wouldn't save properly. Primitive technology, but whatever. So that was kind of what I did for a while, was uploading those. And the only actual videos... Wow, I gotta watch ads for my own videos. That's new. The only videos I would actually make or upload that weren't like taken from a video game were just like one-shot recorded sort of thing on a phone. Or in this case, the wonderful PlayStation Vita. Look at that box TV! That big old box TV. So fast forwarding, 2012 and whatever, we get to the year 2013. I think I recorded them on my brother's iPod. When I uploaded my first actual, like, what I consider like a proper video of me doing a thing. And it was very simple. In 2013, I've already forgotten something. Up until this point, my #1 subscriber was someone called Kiwiana Bananarama. I was like putting a stop to an argument on a Stan Walker music video, and she was like, "Oh, I like Stan Walker," and I mentioned that like my nana likes Stan Walker, and it was cool. Oh my goodness! I just remembered I had Stan Walker, the New Zealand's like Kiwiana pop stars, Stan Walker, his Black Box music video. I just had that re-uploaded on my channel for a while. Yeah, I really would just take whatever and put it on my channel. Yikes! But what was I saying? Ah, yes, 2013, I believe. I don't think it was the year we got Ratchet & Clank Full Frontal Assault, or Q-Force as it was known here, but it was the year we were supposed to get the PlayStation Vita port. Now, I was big into my PlayStation Vita. I used my PSP, my PlayStation Portable, pretty much every day from 2007 to 2012. And then from 2012 to 2020, I would use the PS Vita pretty much every day, because it was just a great little thing. I used it for movies and shows and obviously playing games and stuff. It was a great little handheld. And I was anxiously waiting for the Q-Force, the PS Vita version. And there was no release date, there was no news on it, and then one day there was just news, and I didn't see anything about it on YouTube. So I sat in front of the camera, Ratchet & Clank Q4 / Full Frontal Assault PS Vita news. It was just me. I printed out the article about it, and ironically, at the time of uploading, the popular YouTuber H-Bomber Guy just released a 3.5 epic video about plagiarism and stuff. And even back then I was smart enough to be like, hey look, I'll link this in the description. Here's an article talking about it. But I didn't see anyone on YouTube talking about it, so here's me just, reading the bullet points. And then you can read it for yourself in the description. And I just sat there in front of little PSP with the DJ good-looking sunglasses on, in front of a Doctor Who and Modern Warfare 3 poster. Wow, that is Rock Band drum kit right here. Rock Band drum kit right there. Just out of sight, out of frame. Oh my goodness, I used to be so skinny. So this is me, 2013, I would have been 17 going on 18. When was this uploaded? It was like June or something, wasn't it? February! Yikes. My final year of high school. And so I upload this video, and it gets hundreds of views. It eventually got over 1,000 views, just me talking about this Ratchet & Clank thing. And I gathered a little following of fellow Ratchet & Clank fans. And again, if I was to make this a proper video, I would have named them all. There were 5 fellow PlayStation Vita gamers that followed me. They were like XX Gamer Swag and Jasper Abbey, Muffingeddon, I think. Just 5 cool people. And then obviously, my #1 subscriber for so many years was Genie400. I haven't heard from them in years, but that's after Kiwiana Bananarama. That was the big one. Was Genie400. This kid that I think lived in Auckland. I don't know, but either way, they were cool and they liked my videos a lot. So shout out to them. And basically, after this point, I had my 5 little fellow PlayStation Vita gamers. We played Killzone Mercenaries online together and stuff. And all of a sudden I had Ratchet & Clank fans. PlayStation Vita Ratchet & Clank fans. I'm like, yes, this is like the #1 thing that I like for like most of my life is Ratchet & Clank. You can't see it because of, this whole thing. Literally right out of frame. What do you got? You got Shadow the Hedgehog. No. Sorry, Sonic the Hedgehog. Next to that is Sir Daniel. Next to that is Sly Raccoon. And the next to that, Ratchet & Clank pop vinyl. On top of that, a Ratchet light thing. Ratchet, Clank, Rivet, Ratchet, Clank. I think there's another Clank up there. Basically, I like Ratchet & Clank. So this was really cool, getting to make videos about Ratchet & Clank. And then for a while, that was kind of it. Aside from the old trophy guide. There was the other one. This was my first, not viral, obviously, but this was my #1 video for a while. Ratchet and Clank released on the PS Vita, sort of. Like, it showed up on the PlayStation Store on the Vita, but it wouldn't let you download it. It was this thing. And it was just my thing. For a couple of months, I would just be like a news reporter, basically, on this one specific topic. I would scour the web for information, just anything, any updates. Because back then, I mean, I don't know if you remember, I don't know if you're still in that stage of life now, but when you're a teenager, you know, there's not really much going on in life. You don't have to worry about debts and rent and payments and stuff like that. It's just school, work in my case, and, you know, when PlayStation Vita games are going to come out. Because, you know, they would be announced and they'd be released. They have not release dates, but like PS3 versions would be released, and then the Vita wouldn't exist. Like Doctor Who: The Eternity Clock, that was another one. I was checking every week, just like, when's it going to come out? When's it going to come out? And this was just kind of my thing in 2013. It still is DJ Goodlooking at this point, was talking about Ratchet and Clank Q4 / Full Frontal Assault. You might think I'm milking it, but I'm not. I was just, giving updates of whatever I found. So another update. My goodness. First impressions. When it finally came out, see, at the time, the PS3 version was fine. It was fine. And the PS Vita, like the console, could play some awesome games. I think this was before, like, Killzone Mercenary and After Wars, or whatever it was, but, like, the real, like, some of the best in the business. But you still had Uncharted, Golden Abyss, and Gravity Rush. Like, it could play good games. Then the PS Vita version of Q-Force comes out, and it is horrible. So, there are... Where's the big one? 1 week later, thoughts. Yep. And then, is that the big rant? No, that would have been it. It was terrible. And so I ranted about it. That one only got a couple hundred, but still, for someone that had a channel with less than 100 subscribers at this point, getting hundreds of views talking about one specific topic, it meant a lot. And so that was my little thing for a while, was talking about this Ratchet and Clank. And when it finally came out, it was a disaster, and I criticised it as such. And seeing as I was the only person talking about it on YouTube at the time, of course, once it came out, other people would mention it. There weren't, like, specific references. But, I don't want to be like, oh, I was the guy. Because, no, just some 17-year-old in New Zealand making 480p videos. No, I wasn't the guy. But basically, the word on the street, the popular consensus was that the Vita version of that game sucked. Since at the time I was the only person reporting on it, you know, there's a good chance that people saw my videos. Which, you know, a little boost of self-esteem, of course. And I'd hate to think that's what got back to Insomniac. Again, I don't want to say I'm the guy, but not my videos, but the general consensus that it sucked got back to Insomniac, and that's why the PlayStation Vita version of Nexus never came out. Now, of course, this is we're 10 years later now, so like people like Angry Joe mentioned it once, but mainly like the Golden Bolt have made massive video essays about it, and every now and then I'll hear someone mention it, like, oh, the Vita version of this game, and blah 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 blah, and a little spark in my heart goes off, like, yeah, I was talking about that back then. Now it was me. And yes, basically it was bad. And so what was next after that? Well, as an apology, they said we would get a free download of Ratchet Gladiator or Ratchet Deadlocked when it came out on PlayStation 3. That was also a disaster. That wasn't for a wee while now. If we scroll up for a wee while. My goodness, where is it? Surely not. Oh, that was after I changed my name? Wow. That was a long time. So anyway, at this point, Ratchet & Clank, I had all these Doctor Who videos uploaded. It's getting near the end of the year. Daleks confirmed for Doctor Who 10th anniversary special. Yes. That was the first video what am I holding? Oh, is that a David Tennant poster? It is. These are all still just one-take things. Look at that quality. I'm getting distracted. My goodness. I've been on the same topic for about 5 minutes. Okay, so 2013, I've made all these Ratchet and Clank videos, and I couldn't make proper videos because I didn't have a camera and didn't have a editing software. And this was, again, going to be the biggest video. This is a story I wanted to share for so many years because I found it so funny, and it would be, like, there was a possibility that if I made the video, it might go off, possibly, or it might just be like some of my other videos where they just don't. Because that's the way of the internet. That's the way of YouTube. Where basically I would explain how I made videos for 10 years without an editing software and without a camera. Excuse me. And, well, I might as well get to that now, shall we? How did I make videos for 10 years, or however many years it was, without a camera and without editing software? I would record myself or other things using the PlayStation Vita camera. I always wanted a camera. I loved having my mom's old video camera with the cassette tapes and mucking around making short films back then. Wow, that sounds like a cliche, like when a YouTuber or someone gets popular and they're like, where did it begin for you? Oh, I would make little Lego Star Wars videos on my mom's, video camera. We had to pop out the tape and put another one in, sort of thing, like old school, and I'd make little Lego videos with it. Or just short films with my buddies that were probably terrible. I wish I could still find them, but yeah, made a couple of sketches with my friends on like my 10th birthday. Anyways, so the PlayStation Portable didn't have a camera. You could buy a camera attachment for like $100 or something, but that seems too finicky. But when the Vita came out, that was it. It had a camera, front-facing and backwards-facing camera. That was awesome. I love this little thing. I love this device. Sure, my phone, at this point, I think I had a phone with it wasn't a smartphone, it was just a crappy cell phone with a camera, but it was like real bad quality. Real bad. You'd probably see some of that. But I would record with the PlayStation Vita. If I was doing a video of me, I would record, just selfie cam, or if I was making a short film, like Santa's Christmas in New Zealand, or a zombie film, which I never released, it would be like, I would treat it like a proper camera on the PlayStation Vita. What would I do? I would plug it in to the PlayStation 3. That's right. If you know, you know. I would plug in my PlayStation Vita with the freshly recorded footage, put it in my PlayStation 3, or wirelessly, because that was something else that was cool about the PS3, PS Vita, and I would go into the video editor, and I would use the PlayStation 3 video editing software to edit my videos. I would record on a PlayStation Vita, and I would edit on the TV. Like these things here. You can't see them. Bugger. My zombie movie that I made in 2013, or zombie miniseries that I never finished. Here's some unused clips from Doctor Who reviews. So I would edit there, and all you could pretty much do was take bits out and add text over. Playback speed. I don't think I ever used that. Music, never figured it out. But this is what I would do. And it would crash if the quality was too high, and I would use this for years, right up until 2017. So, yeah, just edit that, take that out, and voila, it would edit that out. And that's just how I made my videos. In from 2012 or 13 was the first time I made it, up till 2017 is how I made my YouTube videos. Was recording on a PlayStation Vita, editing on a PlayStation 3. Because I didn't have a computer. Well, the family had a computer, but it didn't have Windows Movie Maker or anything like that on it. It was just a computer. And I didn't have a laptop, obviously. I didn't get a laptop till this year. So there you have it. That's how I used to make YouTube videos. Was recording on my PS Vita and editing on the PlayStation 3. At this point in my life, I'm in my final year of high school. I didn't think I would do the last year of high school. I thought I was going to leave in year 12, which is when you leave. In high school in New Zealand, you do 13 years. Oh, sorry, you do 13 years of school. High school is like the last 6. And I was going to leave at year 12 and just get a job in a shop. Because it's, high school, there. But that didn't end up happening. I kind of figured, oh no, I might as well do my last year of high school because it'll be nice and cruisy. And it was. And so here I was. I had a channel that was getting views. Alright? Even after 10 years, only 100 views. That's still something. And I knew I had the passion, the time, like I could invest into YouTube. Now here's a thing about me that you might know or you might not know. I don't know, don't particularly care. Man, it's getting hot in here. Is I love performing arts and drama and that sort of thing. Like growing up, I loved doing shows, live shows. Always wanted to act in film. And in my final year of high school, due to an extracurricular thing that I did, it was like a performing arts theatre junior thing. I got a scholarship to go to a university course, get a diploma in performing arts. And until this point, I did, like in high school, I didn't know that was a thing you could do. And here I am, like the naive childhood dream. I knew it wasn't a goal. It might not be a conceivable reality, but it was a dream to be an actor, like in movies and stuff or whatever. And I was like, whoa, here I am, end of high school. And I saw myself at a crossroads. And I remember thinking at the time, I'm like, you think the big actors like Matt Damon and George Clooney, Tilda Swinton, they don't have YouTube channels and stuff. Obviously today that's funny because, Will Smith, Dwayne The Rock, they've got their channels. But like, if you're a Hollywood executive going to hire someone for a job, would they hire someone that just had a YouTube video, like a YouTube channel where they just talked and stuff? And no. Maybe that's different nowadays, but at the time, yeah, that wasn't a thing. So I was like, I can either commit to growing this YouTube channel, and at the time it would have been bad, it would have been amateur, but I would have grown and I would have kept at it. But it was that, or I can not focus on that because that might impede on my dream of becoming an actor. So I chose in 2013, you know what? I could either, it was either YouTube or make a go of acting. And I chose acting because, it's your dream and I'm still young at the time. Fast forward to now. Anyways, so I chose to do I was going to do the acting course either way, but I chose all right, that's where I'm going to go. And basically that lasted a couple of years before reality set in. So, anyways, this was I call this Hater's First Vid because I got my first ever hate comment and it was so funny. Obviously it didn't upset me. I had thick skin back then because it was so stupid. This is a terrible review. I made a review of anything. Nothing was ever titled a review, but anyways. And it was my first, edited video with it. Very basic.
Hey guys, it's your favorite YouTuber here that you
I'm over
don't
here.
really watch.
There it is.
Anyway,
text on the screen. Look, a jump cut. A jump cut. I learned to make a jump cut. And that was that. And then I made the video. It was just me reading the thing. And for a couple of I don't include all these PlayStation Vita update things. This random voiceover I made for a friend as a laugh, and then it went not viral, but it got thousands of views. I'm like, it's bad. So I made a couple of actual videos. I like this one, predicting the Ratchet & Clank movie, where I go through and I found one of my primary school childhood books, and I found a Ratchet & Clank movie drawing that I made.
Sorry.
Do I show it on screen? I don't.
Just decided I could.
Scary, but skinny. So yeah, I make a couple of videos like that one. Bro, do you even lag? I must have deleted them. I know I deleted a Colin Baker in the Day of the Doctor special video because the trailer came out and there was a voice line in it that I thought was Colin Baker, but it was actually John Hurt, so I deleted it, and it was the first time I deleted a video. That was going to be another one I made, was deleting videos. So here I am. At this point, I'm fairly certain this is before I do the whole I'm going to try acting before YouTube thing. What point is this? August. Yeah, so around-ish the same time. But basically, the name DJ Goodlooking was annoying. Sure, I had I had Kiwiana Bananarama and Genie 400. But, I couldn't keep... It's not a good name. It's a cringe name. It's your first ever username sort of thing. And I was stuck with it.
What's up, guys? It's DJ here.
I haven't deleted these because it's cringe and semi-embarrassing as they are, they're still a big part of my DNA. What's the word? I don't know. Part of who I am, and then some of them are not as bad. But basically, I did a farewell DJ Goodlooking, hello Dirvinator, because I changed my username. It was tough to change your username back then, because I think this is when Google Plus first became a thing, if I recall. So you had to create a Google Plus. Is it Google Plus? Is that what it's called? Oh my, it's been so many years I don't even remember. But whatever that weird Google thing was, you had to create that, and then that would let you change your username. And because of that, I'm still stuck with my parents, my family email address as my main Google account. And I hate it, and I can't change it. I've tried for years, but I can't get rid of it. I don't use it. There's technically an account that is my parents' username. No, my family email address that I used to share around in high school. So who knows what it is now, but because of that, that's where my AdSense goes through, which I just qualified this year, and I'm stuck with it basically, which sucks. But anyway, this is the big ta-da! 29 minutes into this fucking live stream. Farewell, DJ Goodlooking. Hello, Dirvinator. I became the Dirvinator, and that was 2013. Started doing actual videos, editing stuff, tutorial on how to get the Jack and Daxter trilogy for free. Good stuff. 18 and almost live. These are all basically just actual edited videos of me recorded using the PlayStation Vita and edited on the PlayStation 3 video editing software. HD release date for Ratchet Gladiator. So I kept up that kind of news reporting sort of thing. And at this point, it was, 2013, when I changed my name to Dirvinator. Oh, Dirvinator. Origins of Dirvinator. First name starts with D. Last name's Irvin. In high school, I had a cowlick, which is, where like, your hair sticks up in an ugly way. And basically, I had a second one grow in during high school. I always had the one, and I had a second smaller one grow in. And when I had short hair, which you had to in high school, kind of like this. This is the first time I've had short hair in about 9 years. True story. My hair would kind of go up in like a wave. And the person sitting next to me in science class, his name was Mitchell Harland. He was a friend of mine from primary school. We weren't like close friends or something, but when you go to the same school for like 10 years, you kind of get familiarity. Anyways, he called it the Derv curve. Now, it wasn't meant as an insult. Like, bullies and stuff would be like, oh, Derv curve. But, like, I owned it because that is a cool name. And the guy who gave it to me wasn't a dick. Like, he was cool. He called it the Derv curve. Because Dervin. And so from there, I was like, sweet, Dervin. That's a good nickname. And I love Terminator. I think Mum did, like, it wasn't Photoshop. It was, like, on Paint. Just basically put my face with sunglasses over the Terminator for a birthday card. And that was the coolest thing for me as like a teenager. And I was like, Terminator, Dirvinator. Anything, any name that ends with an N, you can put Nator on there and it's great. So many people in my life. Tamsinator, Jadinator, just all of it. Dillinator. So anyway, that's how the name Dirvinator came out. And I kept it and it's still, it's the best. It's the best username. It's me. Google thinks you're trying to type in driving or divinator, but no, Dirvinator. It's nice to have a username that's like specific to you and it's not easy to confuse with something else, that was another ramble. 30 minutes, my goodness. So at this point, I figure I can't keep going with YouTube. Even like, though I'm not committing to it, I can't keep going with all these videos on there that aren't mine, that are just copied from other places. So I delete one of them, which had like a couple 100,000 views, I think. It had a significant amount of views. And then I went to like the little about section of your YouTube page, and my views didn't go down. So I'm like, oh, cool. When you delete a video, it doesn't subtract your total views. That's cool. So I delete everything. I delete every trailer, every Doctor Who clip that I'd uploaded, and most importantly, I delete the Doctor Who movie, which had, like, the first part had 3 million views just on the Doctor Who the movie part 1. So I deleted all of that, and my down to 300,000 the next day, basically. So when I deleted that first video and the number didn't go down, and it obviously at the time doesn't go down immediately. So I was like, oh sweet, I can delete videos without losing the views. So then I deleted everything that wasn't mine, and some other things that were mine that were just like lazy, like unboxing videos and stuff. Doesn't really matter because I didn't put effort into them, but it was still quite funny. And at this point, I got like maybe 500 subscribers, and that's where I stayed for many, many years. So heading into 2014, just various videos here and there. Oh, look at that! They had the reaction coming out of the theatre. I had another video. I don't know why I deleted that one, but anyway. I would always upload just short, like random videos that don't matter and aren't edited, like Empty Shrewsbury Biscuit. They don't get views, but I leave them up because, I think they're neat. 2014 started with the whole Doctor Who Symphonic Spectacular, and I didn't do much in 2014, except, if you remember, the PlayStation 4 came out in November? Pretty sure November of 2013. So I had this new console, the PlayStation 4, which had Share Factory. I was going to say Share Soft. So you could like record and actually edit gaming videos and upload them. Because that was something, I remember an old like childhood friend of mine before school, his name was Cameron. I don't talk to him much nowadays, but we're mutuals on Instagram, Facebook and stuff, as you do when you're an adult. You have friends that you don't speak to anymore, but you hope they're doing well. And he said, oh, you should get like an editing software. Oh man, what was the Elgato Game Capture? That was it. Because, back in the day, PlayStation 2 and 3 and Xbox 360 and stuff didn't have recording software, so you actually had to buy stuff to record it on a laptop, which I didn't have. But this was cool because you could just push the share button, and it was great because I could upload unedited things, like just a cool Plants vs. Zombies. Some of these videos I've obviously not deleted them for a reason, but I might have to rewatch them and be like, why? Like the secret area and the prologue of Destiny. But that was a new thing for me. I was like, I can actually edit. And I got really into it. Spoiler alert for the future. editing gaming videos using the Share Factory. Loved that. Here's an example. Not my first, but a short film I made. Santa's Christmas in New Zealand. Is there going to be an ad? It's a little Santa puppet. And yeah, I made a short film. It was edited. It had music. It had...
Time's really hard, you know.
It had singing. But it was edited.
This is definitely going on my naughty
list. End of 2014. That's, yeah. That like 5 videos, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, is like all I had in 2014 because I was busy being a student. I did make other videos in that time. Like I made a short film for a show I was in. The thing that got me the scholarship. We met up again Christmas that year, and I wrote. I mean, it sounds a lot more impressive, but the fact that it actually made it, like, if you've ever tried to do a short film before, like, especially in an amateur way, you know how hard it is. Not just to get people to focus, because your mates, you're just mucking around and stuff. You think, all right, everyone's going to learn that lines. You get up, you film it. It's not how it works. But people had fun while making it, is the main thing I'll say. And I'm glad it went through in the end. So I wrote this with all these characters and managed to get pretty much everyone that was involved in the show back for the short film. And the only people that ever saw it were people in, like, the Facebook group chat, were us. But it was just a thing, you know. We made it. Sure, I, like, recorded it and stuff. But, like, we did that, and it was a cool thing. And then I did a couple of shorts, basically skits, like little comedy sketches for my university class, not the actual university as a whole. But this was a great year, 2014. Best year of my life, maybe. The middle half of it was, like, I got an amazing partner, had, like, a group of awesome friends. It was just a great time. Great time in my life. Wasn't focusing on YouTube. There were other videos, like, I made, like, an audition for another college and stuff. But basically, after that year, I was going to take a gap year and then get back into studying. But we won't get to that because it's all depressing. But basically, the study didn't end up happening. So 2015, I do, like, video game edits. Like, hiding spots and Call of Duty Infected game mode. Just random comedy bits. More Ratchet and Clank. Was my first ever concert as well in 2015. And that's where one of my big things got into. The Road to videos. There it is, the Road to Mumford & Sons. I got inspired because Mumford & Sons had a live thing called the Road to Red Rocks. And so I thought when I went to see Mumford & Sons for my first concert, I would do that. Would be the Road to Mumford & Sons. And now every time I go to a major concert, I make a Road to video, and it's great. Sometimes they get views, like Red Hot Chili Peppers, My Chemical Romance, and Wolf Alice. Most of the time they don't, but that's fine. It's fun. 2015. Gap year, I suppose. A lot of the videos from that time, I think I deleted because they weren't particularly great. Like, I think I had a Destiny live stream. Have I deleted those? Do you haven't plays Destiny? I have! Yeah, I deleted my live stream. No, not live stream. What do you call it? Let's Plays. I deleted my Let's Plays. Wow, I didn't know I did that. Yeah, it was Destiny and Alien Isolation I had. But anyway, 2015, not all that much considering. And then our plans to study fell apart. And 2016 was mostly just more digitally editing. I had lots of clips. Like, I would have loved to have done this more often, like make more Call of Duty videos and stuff. But the edit that goes into not just like the old school PlayStation 3, Xbox 360, like epic gamer montages, but like actual, like the modern stuff. Like, I don't know how many of my viewers are at all interested in, like, Call of Duty. Like, it's something I've not really focused on my channel. Well, I've got enough videos on it. Anyways, people like T-Mole and it's like Lemon Boy or something. Like, they make hilarious, like, edits that aren't, like, super, like, MLG gamer pro weed smoke every day. You know, what were they called? I think they were just called, like, MLG edits. Or, like, so-and-so on crack. Like, just actually good edited videos. I could never hope to do that. I just had, like, funny glitches and stuff. And so that was my thing. 2016 again, I never did reviews. I would have loved to have done reviews, but I didn't know how to approach it. That was the thing that if I was going to do YouTube, it would be reviews, because talking about things I like. Or dislike. No, mostly things I like. I don't see fun in talking about things you hate, unless it's like part of a series of stuff you love. Oh gosh, that's pretty much everything now, because everything sucks. Anyways, so I was like, well, I can do reviews of Ratchet and Clank, and at this point, it's 2016. I'm pretty sure, because it was like 13 games. I think there was like less than a month to go. So I was like, I will review each Ratchet and Clank game. in the month leading up to the PlayStation 4 game's release. That's a review every 2 days. And this was the first time I used a cell phone to record me instead of the PS Vita. So if it was the PS Vita camera, maybe it would work easily with the PS3 video editor because it was like maximum 480p. But yeah, it was 720p, which was enough to make the video editor lag and break and bust, and it was terrible. And at this time, I stupidly uploaded Star Wars The Force Awakens, just the whole movie, to YouTube out of curiosity to see how good the YouTube copyright ID system was. Turns out the YouTube copyright ID system was great, and it immediately pinged it, and I immediately got copyright strike, which at the time, because YouTube's copyright laws have changed so many times over the years, so I'm glad I deleted all those Doctor Who videos when I did. Otherwise, ping, 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 they would have all been taken down anyway. So I uploaded Force Awakens, it pinged me, and then the consequences, the thing where it's like if you've got one strike, you can no longer upload longer than 10 minutes, and you can't change the thumbnail. I remember big YouTubers at the time going off on that, like, if I can't set a thumbnail, the video's dead. And they're right. So that, as a result, combined with the whole fact that the PS3 video editor didn't like 720p footage, whoa, the first 2 Ratchet & Clank reviews are split in half and don't have thumbnails, because I couldn't add thumbnails, and that really frustrated me. I bit off way more than I could chew. Partway through the 3rd game, I realized I can't do this. I mean, this was the first time I was like forcing myself to make a video ever. And at this point, I don't even make videos out of randomness because I felt like it. And here I am doing edited reviews, and I'm sitting there like, this is miserable. I can't do this. I'm sitting upstairs at my parents' house. The sun is blinding me, and it's hot as heck. And I'm reading the script that I wrote, because again, this was the first time I ever tried scripting something. And I gave up. And that 3rd Ratchet & Clank review's been half done for so many years. I've gone back to it once or twice, but the fact is that they're not great reviews, because they were in the style like Nostalgia Critic, where it's mostly plot recaps and then like a little bit of talking at the end. So they're not great reviews, but if you like that kind of Nostalgia Critic style, which I did at the time, then yeah, they could be fine. But yeah, I'm still proud of them because it was my first attempt at doing a review kind of thing. And slightly better video quality, like visually, even though the PS3 video editor would still die. So anyways, Clank versus Thomas. This is my cat Thomas, I miss him. Don't be an ad. Please don't be an ad. Yeah!
Thomas, no, leave Clank alone. Leave Clank alone, please.
Oh, I miss Thomas.
Ow, I'm trying to set up a shot, Thomas. Thomas! Leave Clank alone.
Laughing at my own cat videos. So 2016, at this point, my partner and I at the time were trying to find a place to live. We live in a place called, a town called Wanganui, which is an hour away from my hometown of Pumps North. But the Ratchet & Clank game came out, so I had content again. Me, the Ratchet & Clank guy, making Ratchet & Clank videos, and it was great. Just a couple of trophy guides, some cool glitches. I've never realized this before, because this is still when I couldn't change thumbnails. I put Ratchet & Clank PS4 Pixelizer glitch. If you know the original PlayStation 2, this character, there's a particular glitch if you do some side flipping. The YouTube automatically set that as the thumbnail. So I just realized people probably saw that thumbnail and saw PS4 glitch and thought, oh, I know what this is going to be. But it wasn't. It was just another cool glitch. That's funny. I just realized this now while we're doing this live stream. Huh. If you're watching this, thank you and good luck. So just Ratchet & Clank videos because I love it. Love Ratchet & Clank stuff. And this is where I looked back, and this is the first time Arcadon Luminous commented on one of my videos. Shout out to you, Arcadon. Legend. So at this point, Genie400 was starting to fall off being my #1 subscriber. And along came the legend of Nathaniel Fogar, a fellow Ratchet & Clank fan. Nathaniel Fogar is like everyone's #1 subscriber, right? Comments on every video. He's everywhere. To the point where now whenever I see him, I reply to his comments with Fogar. But yeah, Nathaniel Fogar. And someone else, I can't remember the name. It was David Blake or something. It was DB, I'm pretty sure were their initials. And they were Irish, and they were really cool to talk to. And they had me on one of their videos, and man, talk about like making it work. He I don't know if he would edit, but like he would just talk about a game, and then he wanted to have me feature on it, but instead of like sending him like a video, like an audio clip or something, he had me, we were in a PlayStation 4 game chat together, he would have me talk into my mic, and then he would put the mic up to like his recording device or whatever it was. So in his video, he's talking, and then you just hear me very quietly muffling like, "Oh yeah, I really like the game." David Burke, maybe that was it. Might have been David Burke. Either way, he deleted his channel and all his videos, and I haven't heard from him for years. But he was so cool, and I hope he's doing well. I doubt he's watching this. He's probably moved on, but if you are watching, you're the man. So 2016, Ratchet & Clank, excellent. 2017, more of the same, more Call of Duty edits, because I had lots of glitches and stuff that I enjoyed sharing, and still do to this day. Oh boy, oh yeah, that was going to be another, like I mentioned way back, was like 50 minutes ago at the start of this, for this whole 10th anniversary or 13 years on YouTube thing, I would have made multiple videos. One of the videos would be reacting to my most popular videos, and all these years later, one of my worst videos. I hate that it's this. The final carbonite brick location glitch fix Starkiller base, because when Lego Star Wars The Force Awakens came out, it was broken. It was glitched. I played some of the earlier Lego games, but then I fell off because they were too boring. One thing no one ever talked about, maybe they do nowadays with the Skywalker saga, but Lego games were notoriously buggy. Almost broken when you got to the PS. Like, the PS3 versions were buggy, sure. Like, you would get like, every game there was a possibility that it would, not soft lock, like hard lock or whatever, and you wouldn't be able to 100% or get the Platinum Trophy. That was always a risk you had. Thankfully, it only ever happened to me once on a PS4 game, but yeah, like, every Lego game. Ironically, the portable ones were fine before they went isometric boring, but regardless, this game was so glitchy and buggy. And oh yes, because I didn't play them for years until I had a girlfriend, I had a partner, and I had someone to play them with. So I went out, bought a bunch of them, and then we played a bunch of them, 100% of the bunch of them. It was lots of fun. Until this one. This might have been the one that killed it for us, because Lego Jurassic World is our favourite. Well, still my favourite. It's like the best Lego game. Sorry, Star Wars. Sorry, Lord of the Rings. Sorry, Harry Potter. That game was awesome. But this one was glitchy and buggy and terrible, and so we rushed through it in a week so I could return it, because EB Games has like a 7-day return policy, and we're like, screw this, because I pre-ordered like the big fancy version with the little mini figure and the season pass. But basically, it was very glitched, and at the very least unclear of what to do, and so I was in a bad mood because it was a bad game, and I didn't think this would get many views, so I recorded like the audio. I had the visual, obviously, basically solving the glitch, like how to get past it. And over the years, so many comments like, oh, just use a bounty hunter character, just use a bounty hunter character. I showed it the video, that's not how it works. And some of the things people were suggesting were from DLC characters. I'm like, it's a guide. Either way, getting the thing to appear was like the main point of it. But yeah, it's my most viewed video, and it has been for all these freaking years, since 2016. What was it, like 8 years? The final carbonite break. And the thing that makes me makes me so upset, is the fact...
Heaps of prezzies to buy?
Shut up. Is that I sound like, I'm like, this game sucks, do this, do that. I'm really negative and really low energy, and I didn't think it would go anywhere. But that's when I realized that, like, Lego videos on YouTube, not just like physical making Lego, but like Lego games, they are the viral ones. They go big, especially guides. Like, you know that thumbnail? I just copied that. I just Google image searched and pinched that because it looks good. Yeah, that's the only time from memory that I've straight up just, like, taken something. And you could argue there's worse things to do. Again, in modern 2023, that H-Bomber Guy plagiarism video, I literally just went on Google Images and took that thumbnail. It could have been another YouTube video as well, but it was because it was the only thing. I didn't have an image to use as a thumbnail. That one looks good. And from what I can remember, that's the only time I've, like, outright pinched something. But yeah, that's my #1 YouTube video. Over the years, things have come close. Like, ironically, live recordings. Like Welcome to the Black Parade by My Chemical Romance, Let You Down by NF, and Eddie by Red Hot Chili Peppers has got 40k. It was so close to taking over, and it just didn't. So that's forever going to be my legacy, is that. 2016. Something that came close was we're going to get to. But obviously I still made funny, silly little videos, just shorts.
Where's my brother?
That's so silly. That's so ridiculous. I liked making my silly little short videos. Oh yeah, these are just the two-parters combined together, so they're not actual reviews. Whatever, doesn't matter. 2016, new kind of spam, a video that I thought was hilarious because I got, like, spam to me was always on the internet, ads or emails, and I got a physical letter through the mail that was obvious spam. And it was great, and I thought it was the funniest thing ever. And then after I make the video, my partner's like, well, that ain't funny. Which, fair enough. It's dumb. But that's an example of what my YouTube channel would be. It'd be things I thought were fascinating and funny, but aren't really. So, there was supposed to be a follow-up that I had planned, and I never did, so shush. Then Mafia 3 came out, and this was the second big event. So, I don't count Doctor Who, like re-uploading Doctor Who videos in 2009 to be like the big Dirvinator moment. The first big moment on my channel was in 2013 when I made those Ratchet and Clank like update videos and changed my name to Dirvinator. The second was when Mafia 3 came out. There were 5 games that were coming out in 2016. If I remember, it was Mafia 3, Watch Dogs 2, Yooka-Laylee, and then whatever the Call of Duty and Assassin's Creed were that year. What is it? Syndicate? It might have been Assassin's Creed Syndicate and Call of Duty Infinite Warfare? Off the top of my head, maybe? Yeah, after Black Ops 2. Yeah, okay. And I could only afford to get 2, maybe 1. And Mafia 3 was the first one coming out, so I made the choice to get that one first. And my goodness, I played it the first day, and there were so many funny glitches in that video that I quickly edited together a glitch compilation video and uploaded it. And like overnight, it got 2,000 views. And I'm like, this is my first time in ages that I've had a video get popular that like I actually edited, like not just re-uploading a trailer or something. And so each day after that, I would make another one while I played through the game, which was just a horrible, buggy, glitchy experience. It was just really bad. But I finished it. I finished the game in time to return it within that 7-day trial. And then my partner at the time's father had a heart attack. So we drove to a different city and stayed there for a week while I was recovering in hospital. And it was a happy ending. He's fine these days. But I always joked that it was Mafia 3 that gave my partner's dad a heart attack. But yeah, and that was the part 1, Funny Glitches, was the closest video that came to overtaking that horrible Lego guide. Because it got, I think at that point, the Lego guide had like 14,000, and that one got like 10,000 really quickly. I'm like, yes, take it over, take it over. But obviously no one cares about Mafia 3 anymore. And I think they might have fixed it at this point. Who knows? They have a definitive edition, which I think was just an update that added some stuff. So, no. So 2016, more of that. Addressing the stupid Walking Dead controversy. That was funny. I think the first half of that video was great. Off the cuff. An example of me rambling off the cuff. Because it was made because I watched the first episode of the new series where Negan killed Glenn. It was really gross. Exactly like the comic. And the point that infuriated me was on Facebook, on the Walking Dead Facebook group. There were people, multiple people, but one in particular, complaining about their kids. Like, oh, what about my kids? And the one had like a picture of their son, like little kid, dressed up as Daryl Dixon. And, you know, you might think, oh, adorable children. Ugh. But, like, dressed up as famous characters. The Walking Dead's an R18 show. At best, I have them right here. 16, 18, 18, 16, 18, 18, 18, 18, 18. It's either R16 or R18. Why is your child watching the show? And I ranted on that. And I made some really good points. It was really good. But then the second half, I just kept rambling like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? I didn't know how to end a video. Which is why, spoiler alert, I script my videos now. Otherwise, I will just ramble. Just look at this live stream. So yeah. That was a good one for the first half. Made some other cool videos like how to get out of the map and everybody's gone to the rapture. Some random videos would just take off, like the Easter egg, which I still don't understand to this day. There's just like a weird red guy in a reflection. Like there's no character models in any of that game, and yet when you look in certain reflections, there's a red guy. More Call of Duty things, because man, when Infinite Warfare Zombies released, people these days have it good. They complain about the new one, DMZ. Is that what it's called? Or Modern Warfare 3 Zombies? Excuse me. Basically, it would crash. You would play for hours. Like, you would go up to round 55 after 2 hours and have loads of XP, and then it would just crash. So I got a bit angry. But there are other things that I like. Other things that I enjoyed making, like little cartoon edits. Pokemon Sun, that's a funny one. Deserves more views. And this was something else that I got into in 2016. Or was this 2017? I know it was between houses. We were moving. But I just made trophy guides. Yeah, 2016, 30th of December. So that must have been in between while we were moving places. Essentially moving down the road, but for 2 weeks we had to live with someone because the place wasn't available. But anyway, I'm just having a quick drink. I always loved making trophy guides. But a little side tangent here. I always thought it was super unfair that trophy guide channels would get games early so they could make the trophy guides. And it sucked because it's like, well, what about the rest of us that want to make trophy guides? Like, especially the Ratchet. Oh, man. When that 2016 Ratchet & Clank game came out, I was so ready to make every guide. And then PowerPix and PS4 trophies, who's now PS5 trophies, got the game like 2 weeks early. And all the guides are up. I'm like, how is that not considered spoilers? Like, gameplay wasn't up, but all these trophy guides were. So I didn't get to... Well, anyway, I enjoyed making these because it's just some dumb DLC I played for a couple of weeks while we were in between houses. More gameplay guides, which I enjoyed. It's something I kept up for a while. More concert things. Here's an example of just like a random video that that don't get views, but I keep up because I think they're neat. Is this thing where I was at a supermarket and there's this bright orange sign that says free water bottle. And look, they look cheap plastic, gross, but whatever. Back to school. Yeah, it was branded at kids like, hey, or like parents obviously, like, hey, get your kid a free thing. So it was this big sign that said free 3 water bottles, and then a little text underneath when you spend $200. Nowadays, $200, that's nothing. Like, in terms of groceries and stuff. But back then, I don't know, 70 to 100 possibly. Which I think, whatever. The point is, done. Live concert footage is another thing this is something that clashes with the whole idea of having a dedicated YouTube channel, like being an internet personality or something. Because live concert footage is something that you don't see on a big channel, right? But here I am doing exactly that. I've got a notification. Top chat, live chat. Is there a chat? Moderation helps everyone. There's one viewer, but I don't know how to check chat, so I apologize if anyone is leaving comments. I hope not. I'm only doing this because it would take forever to record a Rambly live video and then upload it, so I'm just live streaming it. But I still love doing this. The big argument, like the big thing people say, you know, they get up on their high horse, and this isn't a criticism of that because it is a genuine criticism. The criticism they are making is legit. Like when people complain about, oh, you go to concert, everyone's just on their phone, everyone's just recording things, yeah. But for me, like, because yeah, any concert you go to, like most people have got their phones up for not all the time, but a lot of it. But like, just let people take photos and stuff, man. Like, I get the whole, oh, why are you taking photos of your food? Just eat it and stuff. Like, some people just like taking photos. Let them do what they enjoy. If they're impeding your enjoyment of, like, a concert you paid a lot of money for, then yeah, that kind of sucks. Like, if someone's on their phone the whole time. Ugh. Like, I'm very self-conscious about this, because I deliberately record multiple songs of a concert, specifically to upload to YouTube. Not only for me to remember, because I have terrible memory. Like, I don't remember my Imagine Dragons concert. I don't remember the Mumford & Sons concert. I rewatched them. And I'm like, oh yeah, that was great. Again, why I make the Road 2 videos. So that people that weren't there can see what it was like. So that people that were there can watch and remember. And not most importantly, but lastly, so I can remember. Because I forget these things. And I put effort into them. Like, there's nothing wrong with someone just, you know, recording on their phone, like, in portrait mode, like a whole song that's just shaky and whatever. But, like, I would deliberately make an effort to make a cool live video, like a live recording. So I'll zoom and do a little transition, like, whatever I can, like, while I'm there to make it look cool. And it seems to work, because people really like them. And only once so often do I get a comment like, why are you recording at a concert? Just enjoy it. Like, I record 2 or 3 songs. I think the most I've ever done is 5. I enjoy the other 20 songs. I still enjoy myself, and so do other people. And I do my damnedest to not block the view of people behind me. Anyway, that's a little side tangent over, but that is another part of my channel that I really like. And the Road 2 videos are almost always fun to make. To start with, they were a bit tough, because like there were so many. In 2016 to 18, which at this point, we're heading from 2017 into 2018, there were just so many concerts. And this is back when a concert ticket in New Zealand was between $100 and $120. And like, we'd just borrow from my parents all the time because we were poor. Like, no getting around it. We had no money, but we'd borrow money and we'd pay it back eventually. Sometimes it would take a year, but it was great going to see so many concerts. Like 2018, there was like one a month sort of thing. And don't get me wrong, I know that seems like super privileged. Like anyone watching those videos would be like, oh, this is a white privilege sort of guy. But no, we're not like rich Aucklanders whose parents pay for every ticket to just go and watch a concert because you know one song. No, we would beg to borrow money and get birthday and Christmas presents and just scrounge every cent we could to afford accommodation and flights to go and see these things. And that was what we lived for, basically. Didn't have much going on in life. We had each other and a place to live, and that was nice. But like surviving the world of capitalism and retail, looking forward to concerts was the thing that we had to keep going. So for years it was, and that's just what it was like. What money we had, we would go and see a concert, and it was great. And then COVID happened, and now Ticketmaster. You know, Coldplay tickets went on sale the other day, $550 or $570 for the cheapest one. Cheapest ticket. Coldplay. They have 3 shows in New Zealand. Anyways, the worst, just funny things. Oh yes, this was. I don't want to say this was like the 3rd big leap in my channel, but Ghost Recon Wildlands. I loved that game, and I made guides for the DLC, and they got lots of views, and they helped people because I loved that game. Breakpoint, I 100% of that, it was fine, but Wildlands, I'll never forget it because I never played it. Oh, I played Tom Clancy games, and the only Ghost Recon game I played was Future Soldier. I hated it. I picked it up for $10 back when games were still, $100, and I just despised it. So I played this free demo, this free beta, and it was so immersive, and I loved it. So I pre-ordered the big fancy Steelbook edition, which I still have, and I loved that game. I know that was another little side tangent, but yeah, absolutely loved Ghost Recon Wildlands. So I made some DLC trophy guides, because again, no one was making things. That was my thing. I wanted to make videos on stuff that other people weren't talking about, which is something that still gets to me today. Is like, well, what's the point of making a video if someone else can do it 1,000,000 times better? But I'm making classic Doctor Who reviews, and they're a dime a dozen. Anyways, more zombies videos, and then this was like the peak of like when I was actually getting into real TV. Sorry, not real TV. That's not to say Amazing Race and Doctor Who isn't real TV, but getting into like more shows that are really good, like Breaking Bad and Game of Thrones. Oh, were good. Breaking Bad still is, but Game of Thrones, just making silly little edits. And this is one that makes me laugh. Like I make silly TV edits, like someone gets punched and it jump cuts to walls are falling over. Going, ah! The mic punches walls. Like I'd play it for you, but there's probably some stupid ad. Oh no.
You done?
Like this is obviously a meme video, like a silly, goofy. Ready? It's just wait for it. Because my partner at the time hated Walter White, so I made this because it was funny. Like it's a silly goofy video, but it picked up in the algorithm, and now the algorithm constantly recommends that video alongside genuine Breaking Bad videos. So you'll be watching a Breaking Bad video, like an actual serious clip, and then that shows up and you watch it, and it's just a goofy little sush post, a poop post, if you will. Ah yes, Skylar and Plup's guides. Again, I enjoyed making guides, trophy guides, because I love trophy hunting. I love trophies. What can I say? And that was one of them. That was just the game I was playing in the meantime. And yes, more Ghost Recon. 3,000, 2,000, 2,000, 3,000 views. I loved it. Oh, that was another one of my almost biggest ones, is the Headhunter Rebel Ops. Because there were two side missions in the second DLC that didn't have specific, like not only didn't have guides, but weren't very clear. That one was mostly clear. Like you at least got a destination. I think the hidden vehicles, if I remember, was the tough one. But yeah, so I made basically the same video twice. One with the title of the trophy, and the other one that was just all trader locations, because I did like, sure, the bulk of the video is the same locations, but I changed the voiceover and explained to say like, hey, if you've already watched this video, this one is the same. I'm just letting you know what it is, and that worked because this one is, I think for the most time, was my second most viewed video, was a guide on a Ghost Recon Wildlands DLC. Man, I love that one. So good. Good reception to the video too. Pretty sure it's still 2017. Other just silly videos like too many fidget spinners. Like I went to Armageddon Expo and there were just, every single stall had fidget spinners. Every single stall had fidget spinners. I'm noticing it's starting to repeat videos. Why is it doing that? I haven't uploaded these twice. This is just YouTube on the PS5 being weird. Hedgehog. Would you watch me Let's Play Ratchet and Clank? That's right. I decided to Let's Play a game I actually cared about. Ratchet and Clank. I stopped after a while because I would do them daily, but they were like half-an-hour videos, and the easy thing to do would just be, because I'm a tiny channel, who really cares, was just do a let's play. Like do like half an hour where it's just me playing the game and then talking over it. But I couldn't do that. I couldn't just do that. So I couldn't do it live, so I would record it. I would record me playing with the voiceover, and then I would do little edits, like fast forwarding through puzzles. And it got to the stage where I had more edits on a video than actual gameplay. Like whatever I was talking about in the video, like I would have on the screen, like more tech, like basic things that you would expect from like an actual edited video, but it's still titled as a let's play. Like I remember there was one where I was talking about like Ratchet and Clank, Jak and Daxter, and Sly Raccoon, and I had so many images in Share Factory that I was putting up, and it was all very, intense. More Call of Duty, more silly videos.
You're tearing me apart, Lisa!
Because it's Lisa's I'm funny sometimes. Assassin's Creed, bugs, glitches, and funny stuff. I wish I actually made more of those videos. Or, I always wanted to figure out how to do that, how to have like a gaming channel. Not a gaming channel, but like a place we could do it. Because at the time, individual little clips, that wasn't the way to go. It was not necessarily frowned upon, but like no one wanted to subscribe to a channel that would just spam post little clips. And like, pretty much from lockdown onwards, there are channels where that's their whole thing. Are just putting up short, like 30-second to minute-long clips of a game, and then just having a creative title to it. Like I remember there was one specific Call of Duty channel. I was never subscribed to them, but their videos were always recommended to me in the algorithm because they were short, and I would see they would have millions. Just basic things from like 2007, 2010 Call of Duty games that people would just watch for nostalgia, and I'm like, I should have done it and been ahead of the game, because pretty much every major AAA game I play, ironically, have so many bugs and glitches, like footage I have, but I don't end up making videos of them. The best one was Mad Max from 2015. I had so many great footage, because it wasn't a glitchy game, but there were some funny glitches. And I had some epic clips, and then the PS4 went and fried itself and deleted everything, so whatever. 2017, I'm still doing this, and I think we're getting to the point, almost, where is it? Yes. So it was around this time, more Call of Duty stuff, more Call of Duty stuff, Merc music. More Call of Duty. There we go. SingStar Celebration Review. That went not viral, but semi-viral. Basically, SingStar did a thing which I didn't realize they had done in the PS3 era, where I thought they had shared different trophy lists, but it was shared where SingStar Ultimate Party was a launch title for the PlayStation 4 because it was on the PlayStation 3 as well. And now if you have a PlayStation 3, it is forever installed on your PlayStation 3, no matter what you do. It's the first thing you see when you turn on the PlayStation 3. So I had the PS4 version of SingStar Ultimate Party, and it was fun because it's SingStar, and who doesn't like SingStar? I played SingStar as a child with the PlayStation 2 and my family and friends. Me and my buddy, my closest friend William, would play Karma Chameleon over and over again, trying to get the high score. Just Karma Chameleon. That was embarrassing, but it's now forever etched on the internet. And so I felt so strongly about this because I bought it, and the track list, because the track list wasn't online, and it wasn't all on the back of the case. It was like 10 songs and many more. So I got it, put it in, and found out it had a shared trophy list with Ultimate Party. So it was the exact same, like the UI was the same, which I didn't realize they did that in the PS3 era as well. And like everything was the same, just new songs. Except I made the track list, and I edited this video really well, basically, because I did all my research and I went through and I made sure to include every song where it was before. So many of the tracks were either on Rock Band's DLC or on the previous SingStar. I think there was only like one or two on a previous SingStar, and the rest were like on the Sing store. So this new SingStar game had tracks on the disc that were already available on the SingStar store, which I thought was terrible. So I made an unscripted rambly video, and I'm pretty sure this was the first time where I borrowed my partner's laptop and thought, all these years of using a PlayStation Vita or a phone to record in the PlayStation 3 video editor, which is what I used up until this point if it wasn't Share Factory, which is why this is the first live action video in a long time. What if I just Google searched Windows Movie Maker free download? And I did, and there it was. And so I did it. My first time using an actual video editor to edit me. I thought it was a different one. I thought it was a Road 2 video. But going back down, it's a long time since I did a live action video. Yeah, that was all one take. So yeah, that was the first time. I thought it was for Bonita Quest, but it wasn't. It was for SingStar Celebration. So I did the track list where I went through every song and said, hey, this is either available on Rock Band or previously available on SingStar. And then I made the review in Atrocity Gaming. Sure, it's a bit clickbaity, but like, to me, because this was before I realized that all the PlayStation 3 games had the same UI. Some of them had different trophy lists, but like, that was like a feature, at least on the PS3, so you could eject a disc and put... Oh, it might have been the PS2. Yeah, I think it was PS2. You guys remember that? PlayStation 2, where you could eject a disc and the game would keep playing? And sometimes you get hilarious glitches, like the Jack 2 and 3, if you were watching a cutscene in the extras menu and you ejected the disc, and then you skipped the cutscene, you would load in to the area that the cutscene was. Like the 3D space, so you could play Sandover Village and like Jack 3. Anyway, this is all random. So I make this review, call it the Atrocity of Gaming, because it was, yeah, the fact that it was full price, $70 or $80, didn't have its own trophy list, and all the songs were repeats, or like ones that you could get elsewhere. I was upset, so I returned it like same day. I'm like, this is dumb. Again, this is similar to the Ratchet & Clank Q-Force Vita thing. I don't want to say I'm the guy, but this was another example where the only reason I got it is because there was no information online about the track list, especially on YouTube. There was nothing on YouTube, just a trailer, which is why it has so many views, the track list. It's because it's the only place that actually advertised it. So this was the last SingStar game. SingStar Celebration killed SingStar. I guess. I've never Googled, I never researched it or anything, but just the fact that this was the last SingStar game. And I was the only one on YouTube with a review calling it worst game of 2017 in Atrocity to Gaming. Call it a conspiracy, but you put 2 and 2 together, you get 3.5. So again, I'm not saying like, oh, I killed SingStar, but it does make me feel bad because then we got 2. It was Let's Sing and We Sing. I can't remember. I've got one here because it was on clearance for $10 sometime. But it was immediately replaced with an even cheaper, lazier knockoff that I'm pretty sure is We Sing. But at the time, there were 2. There were 2 competing, 2 knockoffs. And it was either like We Sing and Let's Sing. I only think one of them's still going. But basically, they then started cranking out annual releases where at least SingStar, not only did you have the brand and the legacy since the PlayStation 2 era, but like the UI was nice. It was like an actual game, not just a karaoke machine. So you could either watch the music videos or you could have the PlayStation the eye-to-eye camera on the PS2 with filters. So you could just watch yourself. That was always funny. We used to do that on the PlayStation 2 or the PlayStation 3. Hey, the PlayStation 3, you could use a Guitar Hero controller on one of them. They had like different gimmicks and stuff. But the point I'm trying to make is at least SingStar has UI. It had like I can't remember what it was called, but the online portion where you had live recordings that were iconic. Like there was a lady that would dress up in different outfits and sing songs all the way back from like 2007. And there were like people like the Stormtrooper dances where it was just someone dancing, just viral clips. And because it was all shared, it wasn't like, okay, what's the viral clip from this game? It was like all time. So you had like the all-time greatest hits that had like 13,000 SingStar likes or something on there. And it had a Sing store and it had things you could do. And they were, at least, if they weren't full price, they were, because I say full price, it was more like 70, I think, which is apparently a discount price, but still, that's a lot of money for what it was. But it was a game. It was full, and it had the whole brand legacy. These new ones are literally just the music video and the most basic note bars. Like, there's no fancy effects or anything. I haven't played a recent one. I think the last one I've got was like We Sing 2018, because again, it was on clearance. Actually, I think I've got We Sing ABBA, which I got like 2 weeks ago because it was like $3. But the point is, they're lazy, and the only trophies are like sing the same song 10 times. And you look at trophy guides online, and they say, I've done this song 15 times and haven't got the trophy. So it's like, I'm sorry if I killed SingStar. I don't believe I did, but it's a heck of a coincidence that I made these. And then that was the last one they ever made. So moving on. Top 10 favourite movies. Top 10 disappointing worst movies. This is my attempt at doing a top 10 list. Again, I didn't script them. So they were rambled and they were too long at this point. I think it was like my longest video that wasn't a Let's Play, 32. And then this one just failed. An hour long of me rambling about disappointing movies. And spoiler alert, one of them I didn't even watch. I didn't even watch It's Chapter 1. But I put it in there anyway because I didn't have enough bad boys. This is something I've wanted to do for years, because I've not grown up, but I've been watching like Jeremy Jahns for years. And at the time, I think this is when I fell off the Nostalgia Critic before the whole change the channel thing, because you know, just you grow out of things. But Jeremy, on the other hand, you never grow out of Jeremy. I'm just having a quick drink. You can stare at my cringy face with a giant Facebook like. So I'm editing away on Windows Movie Maker on my second ever video, and basically the laptop that I was borrowing from my partner that she had for years died. It just died. We had no laptop, and all the footage was stuck on there. So no, she gave me her old because it was literally broken, like it was like plastic was popping out. She gave that to me the year before, and then she had her own laptop. That's right. So it was kind of my pre-owned laptop, and it just died, and all my footage was on there. And I spent months trying to get it fixed at this Wanganui computer repair place, but he was taking a really long time with it. Which, to be fair, in the end, he didn't end up charging me for it because there was nothing you could do. But at the time, I'm like, I hate like if I didn't have a video partially complete, or I actually had the footage on like a USB or hard drive or something, it was fine. I could just borrow a different laptop and do it there. But the fact that the footage was only on the broken laptop drove me nuts. And that happened again recently. We'll get to that maybe an hour or two. So all my footage for these 2 long videos that I was really passionate about was stuck on this laptop hard drive. And after about a month and a half, it couldn't fix it, but could get the footage, like everything, off the hard drive, off the laptop hard drive, and put it on a portable hard drive for me. So we managed to keep all our files. And basically, I re-edited the videos only for them to do nothing, get no numbers, which is fair because they're bad. Hey man, Nathaniel Fogar, you missed your shout out. My first comment on the live stream, Nathaniel Fogar saying, "Hey man, you missed it probably about 20 minutes ago. I was talking about Ratchet and Clank, and I gave you the big shout out." Nathaniel Fogar's in the chat, everybody. I told myself I wasn't going to respond to chat, but come on, it's Nathaniel Fogar. So 2017, and at this point, he's still my #1 fan, Nathaniel Fogar, even though I'm not making as much Ratchet and Clank footage. So I've got this Windows Movie Maker thing. I'm giving it a go. And yeah, it didn't turn out well. But the next one, this was the first time I was like, this is a proper, like, I'm going to try and make a review. Windows Movie Maker was for Happy Season 1. Because no one was really, there was like, I think 2 videos on it. One of them was a podcast that was really long, just rambling about it. And the other one was about the adaptation of the comic, the graphic novel. So I thought, I'll make a review of it. Because there's this show that I randomly decided to watch on my PS Vita. And yeah, it was cool. So I was like, I'm going to try and make a review. And I'm still, I won't say proud of it, but like I'm still glad I did it, because I did the cool little thumbnail very similar to it. Hey, it's the Doctor Who scarf. Cool. But basically, that was how I learnt like some of the intricacies, or like the quirks of Windows Movie Maker, shall we say, where like if you put audio on a video clip and you set the video clip volume to quiet and then follow it up with something, it won't snap straight to the next volume. So if you've got like a clip with the volume set to 0 and a clip with the volume set to 100, it won't go. And so anyway, it'll go. Anyway, are we good? Like it'll go up. So a lot of that is going up and down and up and down. And it's funny because years later I would watch a couple of who's the really popular guy? Or was, I don't know if people still laugh at him or not. Mysterious Mr. Enter, watching a lot of his old videos, has that exact same thing. So I'm like, aha, you edited on Windows Movie Maker too. But the fact that after making videos for 4 or 5 years with the PlayStation 3 video editor, I was actually using a proper video editor, which I still use to this day. It was cool. It made me feel good. A couple more guides. Oh, I got to see Fallout Boy. I mean, I'm skipping all the personal life stuff because it's all just boring, depressing. But it's not all bad. Like, I had good people around me, sort of thing, and could still, at this point, I had the early signs of depression, but I hadn't been diagnosed, so I was still willfully ignorant at this point, and for a couple of years to come. So more live footage and stuff. The Road to Fallout Boy, that was a great concert. Well, actually, no, that was a pretty rough concert, but the experience of going with my parents to a concert, that was pretty cool. And to this day, they still love Fallout Boy. A couple more funny videos. There we go. Calling all Ratchet and Clank fans, I need your help. I had this big thing planned because my favorite YouTuber at the time, and not just YouTube channel, like YouTuber, was Valor4XD. Absolutely loved that channel. Not just because of Ratchet and Clank stuff. I remember because I didn't like they did like the everything wrong with Ratchet and Clank videos, and I didn't care for them, but I watched other videos of them, and I'm like, oh, that is so cool. And I say them because they are now they them, and they've changed their name to Remy Raccoon, and my goodness, they've gone through so many things in their life, and I feel for them strongly, but at the same time, there was a point where I was like way too attached, like I will hang on every tweet that they say, and I did this secretly hoping that they would be involved somehow. But it's fine, because I got other people involved years later. So when did I upload this? Ratchet and Clank fans, I need your help.
Greetings, Ratchet and Clank fans. I need your help. Well, not really, but look at the video.
18th of April 2018. Oh yeah, that list of all the videos that I was going to make, like Far Cry 5 and stuff. I like to come up with ideas for videos and then never make them. Except I would never, well, I say never, I have never, and hopefully never, since the Ratchet and Clank, the month of Ratchet where I didn't finish it, never announce a video. Unless it's done. Even sometimes if it is done. Because how many of you watching this, like some big YouTubers, and they announce that, hey, video's coming soon, and it never happens, and then they apologise for it. And this is something that, again, at the time, Valor for XD and now Remy Raccoon has done plenty. And I don't blame them for it. It's just something I wish I could say to them, like, hey, you're true fans, we love you no matter what you make. So don't announce something. And because you're probably going to cancel it. And that's not a you thing, that's just like a general, like, hey, don't announce a thing, because then you feel like you're being held to it. So I'll never announce a video. Even like at the end of my Doctor Who reviews where I'm like, see you next week, I'm still like, oh, am I ever going to be able to get it done next week? So, yeah, that was... I didn't announce it, but I was saying I need your help. Where I basically said, we want to talk about the future of the Ratchet and Clank franchise after the 2016, I won't say disaster, but like not quite what fans were hoping for. And Arcade on Luminous stepped forward and was like, me. And he pretty much had something edited like immediately. And then I sat on it for 2 years. So moving on, more amazing live footage. This is where I met Holloway. Where I met Taylor from Holloway and Lou from Holloway before they got Max from Holloway and now our awesome best band in New Zealand. Solo a Star Wars Story. Did that one come first? Hang on a second. Oh, okay, so that was my first attempt at, not quite a video essay, but I'm like, okay, so I've got a video editing software, like a proper one. Windows Movie Maker, a proper one. So I'm like, I'm going to try and make like actual videos. Like the Tranquility Base Hotel and Casino one, that was still very basic, and the Road to the Killers. I think Road to the Killers was the first Road to video I made with the video editor, but why Solo a Star Wars Story will be the greatest Star Wars movie ever, not a video essay, because I hated video essays at the time. Now they're more common, like what a video essay is more broad, but at the time it was the people that had the, like, I think it's Breadsword, that had the really annoying way of talking, like, and that's why it means so much to me, is because, without a doubt, Treasure Planet was in all of us. All along. I'm like, just read the lines, say the sentence. Stop putting on the silly cadence and stuff, or whatever. And this was my way of being like, well, I'll try and make a viral video, you know, because if I'm right, hey, because it's a catchy title. It flopped, it didn't go very well. But that's fine. Like, I'm not a kind of person, because I don't consider myself a YouTuber. Still. Well, I have a YouTube channel that I pour a lot of effort into because I like it, but like, no. To be a YouTuber, I think you're going to have, like, I don't know, tens of thousands, maybe a couple 100,000 followers and like a brand or something. I'm just a guy that likes to make videos. So that kind of failed, but it was fun to make because I thought I had a good point. Although, because it was my first, not my first, but another scripted video. Maybe my first scripted video since all the way back in 2016 when I did the Ratchet and Clank sort of faux reviews. So that one didn't quite go well, but my next major project is something I was more passionate about. So it was an attempt, and the attempt was made, and I'm still kind of happy with it, but you know, as we all know, Solo didn't become the most popular thing, groundbreaking. Over time, it's got a better reception because everyone's like, this doesn't suck. It was just overabundance of Star Wars. More live footage. See, Imagine Dragons, I don't remember that at all. Barely, so I'm glad I've got recorded footage. Then I'm like, alright, this is something I've got. Do basic, I say basic research, no, because I dug out my old, not Game Informer, I think it was like K-Zone, but we had a gaming magazine. I remember I got given heaps of them for free when one of the local EB games closed. And so like bare minimum research, going back to that H-Bomber Guy video that came out a couple of days ago, again, like talking about people plagiarizing and stuff. So there was VG charts, but I didn't discover that until after I'd already looked up so much stuff about the PS2. And to be fair, this is before the Golden Bolt videos that like talk everything, like the ultimate retrospective. Those are the best videos about Ratchet and Clank on this platform. Watch them. So I just thought I wanted to talk about the 10 best, 10 worst, because I love Ratchet and Clank, and I haven't done a Ratchet and Clank video in a while. So I'm like, there we go. 10 best selling, 10 worst selling. The best selling games did quite well. Actually, I think Arcade on Luminous recommended it, or like referenced it in their most recent video, which is pretty cool. It's gone full circle, me and old Arcade on. And they were fun to make. They were fun to make, because it was just me talking about Ratchet and Clank, and yeah, the amount of research I did. Like, I'm not gonna lie and pretend like I'm poring over pages of documents, but like I didn't just look at one website. And like I said, I didn't find VG charts till I'd already looked up most of the stuff about the PS2 games, and I had my old books. I should have showed them in the videos, but they weren't with me at the time. They were at my folks' place in a big carton of magazines from the mid to late 2000s. But yeah, so they would talk about like basically just sales. The point I'm trying to make is I did actual research. Yay, go me. The best and worst selling games. There were a couple of comments on the worst selling ones that think it's like the worst games in the series. I'm like, no, there are no worst games. I think the worst you can get in the Ratchet and Clank franchise is the PlayStation Vita port of Q-Force and Full Frontal Assault, which is bad, but like, there's not a single bad Ratchet and Clank game. There's not a single bad Ratchet and Clank game. Size matters. Secret Agent Clank, All for One, Q-Force. Fantastic in their own way. So that was a lot of fun to make, and it was probably like my second to last big Ratchet and Clank thing that I ever did. Open Side. Oh, I loved Open Side. They were such a good band and did not deserve what happened to the lead singer, Possum. More Ratchet and Clank stuff. Just I liked doing that. Taking the mickey out of what they call it, Fact Fiend, I think, because I found out the main guy was a big D-bag. Oh, here we go. Okay, so this is my magnum opus. This is the most YouTube video I've ever made. Like, this is the most, okay, this is a YouTube video that is professional, and you see, or is as professional as I could get it, because again, more research, first-hand accounts from actual people, aka my dad, but like, I knew things that people didn't, and it was a topic that nobody talked about. It was Bonita Quest, Game On. That time a banana company made a video game. Like, the ultimate catchy thumbnail, the ultimate like catchy video title. Like, it was like, okay, this is a proper YouTube video. This isn't just me, Dylan, making a video for a laugh, or even the Dirvinator. This is like, no, this is a thing. So I researched, I put it together, and this was my first time using DaVinci Resolve, which Arcade on Luminous, who was at I think it was at university in whatever country he's from. Sorry, Arcade on, I don't remember. But this was something he used for his film course, and he recommended it to me because it was free, and the laptop I ran it on at the time just did not work. And I pointed that out at the end of the video. Like, it took me days and days and days. Like, I had everything ready to go, but just like every little thing you did made it lag. I still use it sometimes to this day with my current laptop, because it's the only way I know how to put like something over something else, because Windows Movie Maker is basic, right? It's very basic and not great. And that's how I put like a photo over the screen. Because you can do that in Share Factory, obviously, if you're editing game footage. Oh my goodness, that was another deleted video I never made. It was the 2017 Death Note movie. I wrote this long script, and I got every single image, and I was like, I'm going to try and import recordings of me into Share Factory and edit on Share Factory. And then the very next day, like, all the big YouTubers, including Jeremy Jans, made reviews on it. I'm like, no one was talking about this, and now everyone's talking about it, so I missed my shot. But anyway, I'm very proud of this video. Easily my favorite video. Doesn't matter how many years go by, that will always be like my favorite video, because it's on a topic that barely anyone knows about, but it's still like so niche, and that a very specific audience of people will have memories of it. So for curious people, they watch it and like, wow, that's fascinating. And then for other people that are like, didn't I get like a PC game from a banana promotion in like 2005? Yes. And every so often, I get a comment like that, like, oh my goodness, like I got one like a couple of weeks ago, actually. Like the first comment in years, that it was something like, oh my goodness, I haven't thought of this game for years. But I love this video I made. It's great. It's got like a fun little outro with the Mighty Boosh, and it's good. it sucked to make, and it's, aside from a couple of my comedy sketches years later, still the only video I made exclusively on DaVinci Resolve, because it just lags so much. But yeah, if anything, if you're taking away anything from this like 2-hour long live stream, watch that. 21 Pilots sampled Digimon. Yeah, that was just something I noticed when I finally stopped hating 21 Pilots and actually listened to them. I was like, oh, this is good. So going up more concert footage. This is where there were so many concerts that I didn't have a chance to... I couldn't be bothered editing the Road to concert vlogs. So you see we got Wolf Alice, and then Panic at the Disco, and then the Road to Wolf Alice, and then I think it was like 2 months, or maybe a month later, I finally got around to the Road to Panic at the Disco. Before 21 Pilots and Christmas, and then Passenger. Oh yeah, so I had to do the Passenger one, then 21 Pilots, then Florence and the Machine. Like, it was... I don't want you to think like, oh, here's this rich boy... Super. I am, don't get me wrong, I'm very privileged and fortunate to have been able to go to all these concerts. But the price of concerts these days, it's like, it's not looking good. It is not looking good, especially in New Zealand. But yeah, that was what 2018 was a lot of experimentation. So like, I finally had, I had 2 part-time jobs. My partner had a full-time job, and so we had sort of financial stability. We'd struggle and stuff, but like, you know, we could live mostly comfortably. So I had free time, actually, so I made videos and enjoyed it. Kingdom Hearts 3. Looking back, it's a disappointment, but like at the time it was still like incredible, like wow. Then 2019 came. I think those are the only videos I made in 2019. The major ones, aside from more trophy guides, was all character deaths in Game of Thrones, which was just a montage. That's something I had planned on doing from the beginning, because I thought, hey, that'll be a cool YouTube video to make. Again, it's not my creation, it's not me specifically, but it's me making an edit out of something, because Game of Thrones was the biggest thing on the world at the time, and as we all know now, Season 8 just sucked, and now no one talks about it, except House of the Dragon, because House of the Dragon's good, but yeah. And so I made that, and I was going to have it uploaded like immediately after the final episode aired, but my cat died. Thomas from earlier in the live stream, yeah, he died. We had to get him put down, and that sucked. So, and as a result, I didn't get to see the finale for like a day or 2 afterwards. But I still uploaded that straight away, but like got no views. I think there was like another video that was like really HD and had, you know, it was pretty much the same thing. It was like all major character deaths, but they missed out on quite a few of them, like characters that I thought were major, like named characters and whatever. But whatever. And because I had put, like, at the time, like, a couple of weeks worth of editing, like, gathering information and stuff together, I decided to not delete it. In the last half a year, that's gone from, like, 120 views to a couple of, like, a few thousand. What are we at now? 66,000. Little Star Wars reference for you there. And, yeah, I don't know why that's suddenly getting so many views, but people are loving it. Because I put funny little hidden references in there, like when a character gets crushed by a ceiling, and I say cause of death, crushed by a ceiling, and then ... in the next episode, killed by a few fallen rocks. Because yeah, wow, that show, wow. Fan explains Rambo: Last Blood. I'm a big fan of Rambo 4, the franchise. Rambo 5, just baffling way to not end the franchise. And I remember I saw the movie and I went home and I wrote, I might still have it. Basically, I just word vomited because I thought I might be able to script this. And I think I wrote like 12, maybe even more, possibly even 20 pages, maybe 24. Maybe it was huge, the biggest thing I've ever written. And this is a very ADHD thing. Like in high school, I can't write an essay to save my life. But if it's something random like this, and it was detail, was going into all like how Stallone said it was going to be the end of the franchise, was bringing back this original idea for a Rambo 4 that he was doing, and blah, 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 and then only from to back out at the last minute and be like, well, actually, no, I don't want to end it now. So, but and I did all that, and didn't end up making that video. Because in 2019, which is when pretty much started with the Road to Arctic Monkeys, yeah, Florence was the end of the year, we lost our house, because, you know, rich boomers buying houses and getting rid of rentals, that's how it works. We're living in, like, I would say, like a toxic environment, and so yeah, wasn't feeling creative and making videos. Even just recording a video like this, standing in my where we were, the bedroom, just recording and talking, I'd probably get growled at like, oh, what are you making noise for? I'm like, just talking to the camera. So I didn't end up making videos. I I tried earlier in the year. This is another. If I was to do a 10 years of Dirvinator thing, and like talking about unreleased videos, I rambled off because I had this idea of 10 years in retail because I started working as a 13-year-old, and at this point I was 23, and I wanted to script and make a video talking about everything I'd learned in 10 years of retail and stuff. I think that video would have been very different to how it is now, because now I'm like, I don't like capitalism, and I don't like corporate nature stuff. So, anyways, but I didn't make anything at the time. There's another example of something I wanted to make, and then the time finally came, like, I haven't done anything. So I just rambled to the camera for a while, and then went to start editing it. Edited for about an hour, and then it crashed. The Microsoft Word, no, Microsoft, what is it, Microsoft video editor. Getting lightheaded from all this rambling. I don't think humans are meant to talk non-stop at a camera for this long, but still. How do live streamers do it? Basically, that video, it just corrupted, and then the footage just died. I'm like, well, I'm not making this video anymore. So that instead I made this ramble about Rambo instead of 10 years of retail. So 2019 didn't make much. Couple again trophy guides. Next Ghost Recon came out, Breakpoint, even though it wasn't the best. I still wanted to make some videos. That's another one I'm quite proud of. The bugs, glitches, and funny stuff. I do genuinely like those videos when I make them. I just very rarely make them. OpenSide, before they... This is another thing I'd like to talk about if I was to talk about my most viewed videos. The most random one, I Just Wanted You. So I went to see OpenSide. It was their second show I went to, but because they opened for Panic at the Disco, it was technically the third time I saw them live. Because at the time I loved them. They were my favourite New Zealand band. I don't want to say I didn't know any New Zealand bands, but I barely knew New Zealand bands. Like, at all. And it's thanks to them that I met Foley and Holloway and just like everyone. And now Shawboy, who I'm going to see tonight. So they had an EP, and it was episode 1 was Character Flaws, and then they called the second EP, I think it was Waiting for Love. So they had Waiting for Love, Kiss Me or Kiss You, and then I Just Wanted You. And I Just Wanted You went super popular in Korea. Like, big, popular. I don't know how the music industry works, but like it was in the background of shows and stuff, and apparently it's very popular on Korean TikTok. But they absolutely loved that song, I Just Wanted You, and I just so happened to have recorded that song live. At the time I didn't plan on what songs to record. I just push record, and whatever song ends up playing is the song I get recorded. Now I'm always on setlist.com like, what song? But I was just lucky enough to get this uploaded, and then it got so many views and so many comments in Korean. I'm like, what's going on? And then there was a viral Korean lyric video, and I commented on it, and basically I just used Google Translate to tell the story of OpenSide. Like, well, not like how it ended, which is really upsetting, but like, it's just a random tidbit that I happen to have the only live recording of I Just Wanted You, and Koreans love it. So 2019, barely did anything like that. More OpenSide live videos. Bob Dylan by Fall Out Boy, don't ask. And then we finally moved, and we get our own place. It's the best place my partner and I ever lived in, because it was a proper house. Like, yeah, it was a flat, a rental, but like, it had rooms. It had 2 bedrooms, it had a lounge, and a kitchen. Whereas where I am now, like, 3 feet that side is the wall, 3 feet that side is an area to the kitchenette toilet. Like, it's a box. I live in a box now, and it's... Actually, I think it's more expensive than what the 2 of us were paying back then. But anyway, so we had our own place. It was great. And this is where I was feeling more creative. And I made a pitch meeting. Ryan George has a pitch meeting series. Used to be for Screen Rant. Now it's just, I think, him. Maybe still owned by Screen Rant. But he's a very funny human being. And yes, I did blatantly like copy it. But I said at the start and at the end and at the bottom, like, this is 100% like based off him. It has references from him. And I remember when I first told my partner about it, she was like, oh, no, don't do that. Don't rip something off. And I was like, no, but I've at this point I already pretty much recorded everything. And but yeah, she basically said my worst fears, which were like, oh gosh, people are gonna react poorly because it is just like copying him. But I put my own spin on it. Like, for one thing, J.J. Abrams is a puppet, but I do use like the same like framing device and stuff. But then when I made it and showed it to her, she was like, oh wow, that was great. And people responded well to it. But obviously it is like, pitch meetings are his thing. It was just my take on it, which is still one of my favorite videos as well, because it's funny. And no, it is. I think it's funny. I think it's got a lot in there, because Rise of Skywalker was a bad movie, and that's kind of what got me like itching to do more comedy things, so more live shows. Oh my goodness, NF. So I think Pompeii was, no, Bastille and NF were February, like 2 concerts at once. It was like, whoa, crazy, spending all my money on concerts again. And I ended it, the road to NF, with like, hey, My Chemical Romance is here in like a couple of weeks. See you in March of 2020, My Chemical Romance. And what happened in March of 2020? COVID-19 pandemic shut down. So I'm stuck inside, and for years I've been collecting CDs, physical media, like yeah, CDs, and lots of physical media. Big fan of physical media. So yeah, I made an album haul video, basically what albums I got, because like when new albums would come out, I would get those. Like only for bands I want. Like I wouldn't just buy random crap. Well, sometimes. But if I ever just bought a random album because it sounded cool, because I thought it would be cool, it was only ever like $2 sort of thing. But basically, January, I was like, hey, here's the new albums that came out this month. Some picks I got from like Real Groovy, which is like a record store in Auckland that used to have lots of CDs. Now they don't, which sucks. But and Lou from Holloway, actually, the singer from Holloway, who I just recently got into after meeting them after the Open Side show, left a comment being like, you should totally do this. And that was enough for me to go, sweet, I'm going to do this month to month. So that was my series in 2020. It spawned from me, where are we? We're an hour and 40 minutes into this live stream, and now I'm finally getting into the modern era, and this is me being like, okay, acting's not a thing in the city I'm living in. Not really. I want to do more performance, more stuff. Maybe be on camera, and this could be an opportunity. And I always wanted a series on my channel. Fast forward to today, that's kind of what I have, but like an actual thing that I can do regularly. But I wanted to do reviews, but I have no idea how to do that in a way, because I think some of my favorite things, like I wanted to talk about Kung Fu Panda 2, or like the Aliens franchise, or Terminator franchise, or most importantly Ratchet and Clank. But I'm like, how on earth do you say everything you want to say in a video? Because I can just imagine, like, I would always think of something new that I'm like, oh man, if I made a video back then, I wouldn't have included that, and I would have really wanted to. And you can't really constantly revisit something over it. Like I know Some Call Me Johnny's, another one of my favorite channels, does like a sort of like, I can't remember what it's called, like second take or something, where they go back and talk about something they've already talked about before. But like I would be doing that like every year, like, oh, here's more stuff that I thought of but didn't mention. So instead I did an album haul thing, unscripted, rambly, so some of them went really long, barely got any views, 27 views, yeah, and that was understandable, because, you know, it's just a guy talking about CDs he bought, but I put a lot of effort into it and enjoyed it. Matey, I miss Matey, he passed away last year, or was it this year? I don't know. But the thing lockdown was good for was making videos, especially if they were internet, like gaming videos. Look at me, still one of the best videos I ever made, and no one watched it. The genius of Ghost Recon Breakpoint. And yeah, so lockdown, there was nothing else to do but make videos. What a great time. I think that was when I started to realise I could have been depressed, and thanks to being stuck inside for months on end, like it, I'm not going to lie, COVID sucked. Like, what happened in 2020 sucked. But lockdown, being able to stay at home with your loved ones, I know it was a nightmare for someone, but some people, but I loved it. Personally, I got to spend so much time with my partner. Finally started watching Better Call Saul. Like, it was a big culture shock for many people around the world to be like, oh, this is what life could be like, you know? Like, this is how the other half lives, you know? Celebrities and stuff, they don't have to work because they just have bajillions of dollars and they can just do whatever they want all day. Anyways, so I finally thought I better revisit that Ratchet and Clank idea that I had 2.5 years ago. So I contacted Arcade On again and said, hey, I'm doing that video. You know, the thing that you had sent me years ago that you pretty much did immediately and I never got around to? I'm doing it. And I figured, hey, what are some other Ratchet and Clank people I like? The Golden Bolt, like the legend, who is now kind of the Ratchet and Clank guy. I'm so glad he made those videos, because the biggest Ratchet and Clank video on YouTube was that horrible, I mean, the video was well made, but it was like, it was something like how Ratchet lost its edge, and it was millions of views by the Gaming Brit show, which most Ratchet and Clank fans hate, because regardless of content of the video, when you search Ratchet and Clank and that's the top result, is like a negative take on something, that sucks. So I'm so glad Golden Bolt made those videos. But before he made all those retrospectives, He was in a video with me. And of course, Red Ratchet. I didn't realise they weren't huge. I thought they were big. I thought they were like, oh, this is a person that has heaps of subscribers and makes Ratchet and Clank edits. And they were like, oh, thank you so much for inviting me on. This is such a cool experience. I'm like, are you kidding me? Thank you for joining me. You're not small. Like, they've been shouted out by Insomniac Games several times. You're not a small creator, Red Ratchet. Follow them on Instagram as well. They're great. But I figured before I released that video, I better finally finish the Let's Play. So I did. I went back and finished the Let's Play that I stopped in 2017. Whoops. Also, the Ratchet and Clank 3 review, I was going to finish that in 2017. I even recorded a new intro with my buddy William. Didn't end up making it. And now that my channel's 13, still haven't made it. Anyways, so there it is. Another one of my... Do I consider it favourite? I don't know. The future of the Ratchet and Clank franchise, featuring Arcade on Luminous, Red Ratchet, and the Golden Bolt. Obviously, the Golden Bolt's like the big grab because, you know, he's the popular channel. But I'm just as stoked about having Arcade on, who we've since become really good friends, and Red Ratchet involved. It was awesome. And Nathaniel Fogo in the comments, and my good friend William, obviously, involved somewhat. It was good. And it was before not Nexus. What's it called? Oh my gosh, Rift Apart. Yeah, me and my friends, William, we've talked about it at length. It's not our favourite. It's probably not even one of our top favourites. It's a bit of a disappointment to us. But still, me and a couple other creators, we just talked about what is most likely next in the franchise and what will happen and just what we want. And then we did. And we made the video. And I made a joke about Into the Ratchet verse. So when the Rift Apart trailer came out and you see a purple Lombax, of course, Arcade-On's like, you called it! Into the Ratchetverse. So it's not quite like all the Ratchets, but it's still like multiple Lombaxes. It was just a really good, well-timed video. Sure, it spawned out of lockdown, being at home all the time, having all this free time. But it was a very well-made video that I put a lot of effort into and had other people feature in which I think was the first time, like I've had... like Genie400, my old top subscriber, was in a video where I was basically just glitching in Q-Force, like just trying to find a glitch. And I did find a glitch, and that was it. But this was the first time where I actually had like a collaboration, and it was awesome. Again, not including the time I was in the David Burke video very quietly that he deleted. But so that was awesome. And then coming into the end of lockdown, one day I just came up with this really funny idea about when a family friend recognises you at work, because I had that. It was nothing like the video, but I decided I'll make this little funny thing. And then going from the end of lockdown and then back into work, I would still force myself to do a comedy sketch every Friday. And so I did. And some of them did well. Obviously, I kept up the album hauls month by month for 2020, but I also was doing comedy sketches, and that's some of the favourite stuff I've ever made. Some of them have gone, I think maybe 2 of them have gone like as viral as you can hope to go, but I was obviously inspired by, at the time, I think it was Ryan Johnson, before his whole controversy came out, and the Australian brothers, Fairbairn Films, yes. In fact, they make a cameo in a video. I didn't ask them, I just snuck something in, so anyways. And I just made some funny comedy videos, and then people in like my personal life liked them, and it made me feel good. And I would have loved to have kept going, but eventually, you know, moved house and work takes over. But I love these so much. This was another one that I thought was fun, revisiting the 2015 Manawatu River flood. So I had a video, again, not go viral, but like, you know, like when it's, not a disaster, but I had footage of a big earthquake that hit New Zealand that I uploaded, that I had recorded when it happened, and then I uploaded it, and then it got a lot of views for a tiny channel. And it got featured on local news and stuff, because that's just what they do. They just pinch a video offline and don't credit you, but whatever, that's the world we live in. And same with the Manawatu River floods. I made a big video in 2015. I say big, just driving from my parents' house, because they live real like big holes in the like a hole. You don't think like a little pothole. I'm talking like there is a bigger than a car-sized hole in the road that just goes down like a good 10 feet. Like if you were driving, your car would just go boom. And obviously the actual flood itself and all that sort of thing. And that video got quite a bit of views back in 2015. So I met up with my buddy William. So he was the second collaboration, should I say. Oh wait, technically we did like an IGN spoof back in the day of a Kingdom Hearts review or talking about Kingdom Hearts, so that was technically first collaboration, but yeah, we don't count that, even though it's still on my channel. So me and my buddy William, we get back together, we do a comedy sketch. My goodness, I was so skinny. And then I was like, hey, do you want to help me do this returning to this thing? And I made it, and you can even see in the thumbnail, like, here's where it's flood in 2015, here's where it's fine in 2020. It was a lot of fun, because at this point New Zealand was out of lockdown, obviously. And that's another video that, like, didn't do well at all for a while, and then, like, after a year or two, finally started to get views. It's still only at, like, just over 500, but, like, it's something. And it's a video I enjoyed making, mostly because I got to do it with my friend William, and then I got sick afterwards. More comedy sketches. These are the two that actually got views. Was the unexpected item and bagging area. Loved that one. And the waiting for package delivery. 2,700. That one means a lot to me. Because, yeah. I think I got copyright struck because I had a backing track of a Bastille song. But still, I love all these comedy sketches. Some of them, like, this was my, not risque, but like my absurd, attempted at an absurd video. Like, because that's something Fairbairn Films did a lot before they just resorted to shouting. I haven't been subscribed to them in years, but I just remember they would have like some really obscure videos. Like, yeah, one of them would just get in a couch and stick his head out, and it would be like, in a video it would be like about a talking head on a couch sort of thing. So this was mine. It was like just this absurd video about two guys talking about a Nike shoe, and then here I am with a tissue box on my foot with a Nike swoosh on it. But that was my only attempt at like an absurd thing. Everything else was fairly straightforward. And yeah, I look back. I don't rewatch my videos a lot, even now, because when you're editing them, you see the same footage over and over and over again, so it gets very tiring. But I haven't watched them in a while, maybe like a year or so. But I would not hate rewatching them. I think, yeah, that was cool, and I wish I kept making them because I had lots of ideas. But still, actually, I think one of the retail store ones. This ended up being a trilogy because I'm wearing a bright red shirt, which is iconic for a particular New Zealand retail chain, but you can't tell because I've got a little sticker over the logo, so you don't know what it's from. Holloway Holiday, when they were still called Holloway Holiday, got to see them for the first time. That was great. Road to Holloway. The fact that that's got more views than most of my Road to is incredible, and they deserve it too. Best band in New Zealand. Go follow them. I'll wait. Search Holloway NZ on Facebook. Search Holloway Last Dance for Losers on YouTube and like the video and spot me in the video. Or Hot Pink Peralez's video and spot me in the video. Or Violet, which is probably still one of the best videos. And Crash Day, all my friends. Anyway, so more sketches, more live footage. What's the one that got really popular? Oh, it's not as popular as I thought. 250 views. Retail stores on 1150. No. Oh, I just had a thing. You're live. I looked at the TV, looked back, and my phone said you're live. So I'm not sure what happened there. If I went out for a second, but who cares? So lots of comedy sketches and album hauls. Top 10 best albums of 2020. I didn't end up making a December album haul video, basically because I did the top 10 albums instead. I loved making that because I scripted it and it was fun. And 2020 is probably the best year for albums that I've had since I started getting into music proper. I loved that year. The top 3 of that year, Imploding the Mirage by The Killers, The New Abnormal by The Strokes, and Wake Up Sunshine by All Time Low are still some of the best albums in years. And the reason I haven't made one since is because 2021 sucked for albums, but was good for music. 2022 was tough trying to decide them. And this year, I'm going to try. You can't see them because they're just out of frame, but I have all the albums of this year, and I'm going to try so hard to get a top 10 albums of 2023 video because I enjoyed making this so much. But it was just a matter of like, again, 2021... had barely any albums that I really liked, but so many good songs. Again, Last Dance for Losers and Violet by Holloway. So if I was to go back and make top lists, I'd be like, what do I choose? What do I choose? But this year I'm like, no, I've already got the list. I've already got it. I just need to make the video. But I really like that video. Ratchet and Clank, Life of Pi. Any Ratchet and Clank fan knows that the random little TV pilot that never got made and was suddenly released. And I can't remember what happened. My partner and I were about to go somewhere or watch something, and that had just come out. So I'm like, quickly, before we do that, while it's fresh, while it's new, I'll quickly record just a quick silly video. And I did, and I whipped it together. It's 45 seconds long, and yeah, got a couple hundred views straight away because it was like the hot topic. Like, what is this Ratchet and Clank thing that just came out? So that was fun. More comedy sketches. This one haunts me because for some reason it's locked at 24 frames per second, so it's really blurry, and that frustrates me, but whatever. More comedy sketches. Rift Apart playthrough. A complete Rift Apart playthrough, but it's just the bugs, glitches, and funny stuff. I changed the title to be similar to more popular channels like Obo Shoes Gaming, Zanny, and Kevduit, because those were the ones that were getting lots of views. I wouldn't do something like that now, because literally every single video on a modern video game is, I play X so you don't have to. Seriously, it frustrates me. How many videos? I don't know how many people watching this follow like gaming channels. I never used to, but there's like maybe like 5. Well, technically, I can't think of any more off the top of my head aside from those 3: Kevduit, Obo Shoes, and Zanny. Maybe the X-Man? I don't know. People that I actually like, should I say, who make videos, and every time a game comes out, even if it's not bad, like bad games like Golem and Kong Skull Island, and oh gosh, what was the latest one? The Walking Dead Destinies. It's always, I play this so you don't have to. But even games that aren't terrible, like Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3, the new one, and Cyberpunk, when they fixed it, they're still, I play so you won't have to. Thirsty, just talking at a camera for 2 hours. If I made this an actual edited video, I swear it wouldn't be this long. Maybe it would, who knows. Sylvia rips a fart, Loki episode 3, that says everything you need to know. But I had lots of fun making the Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart video until my game actually crashed and I was locked out of progression on day 3 and I never returned to it. To this day, I still haven't returned to it. I think after a week they fixed the glitch, so I finished that playthrough just to fully level up the weapons, which I don't even think was for a trophy. It might have been for a trophy. Or just to say I did it. It was the Cryomine Glove, which just wouldn't level up for some reason. Meanwhile, all the YouTubers... Oh, excuse me. All the YouTubers are like, it's the best gun in the game. Meanwhile, I'm stuck. Not able to level up. Or whatever. And since then, I haven't touched it. And my friend was going to sell it one day. I'm like, don't sell it. You might want to replay it someday. So I convinced him to not sell it, but I haven't touched it either. And then we end the comedy. I kind of brought it back after a wee while because I had a break over the Christmas of 2020 and then moving into 2021 is when I brought it back, I think, for 4 of them. Like, I think that was the last one. It might have been the first because I only had like 4 or 5 in like the season 2 of an attempt at comedy. And it was 2021 and I moved to Wellington finally after being in Wanganui for 5 years, going nowhere in life, getting depression, got diagnosed with depression right in time for my grandfather passing away. So thank goodness I had antidepressants then, otherwise. Yes, anyways. So, obviously, I miss my cat Thomas and I miss my granddad Fred. And we moved to Wellington, my partner and I. My partner at the time and I. Obviously, we're no longer together. But still, it was like a good thing for us to move here. And her brother came along with us. It was great. Like, obviously, the thing was, I don't want to talk too much about personal life, but the thing was, if we're going to be poor, why be poor in a city we don't like when we can be poor in a city we do like? And so we did, and we were financially struggling in this wonderful city, which is awesome. And I still love living here. So as a result, starting a new job, didn't really have much time to make YouTube videos until what came along in 2021, Delta. Yes, New Zealand was free of COVID for so long, while the rest of the world was still, struggling. Not showing off or anything like it's a tragedy at all, but it was like life had pretty much gone back to normal for us. And the Delta happened, and we had our second lockdown. When Omicron came around at the end of the world, we didn't do a lockdown. It was Vax passes, but all of a sudden I've got this new job, and Delta's a thing, so we're stuck in lockdown. I'm like, I haven't liked Doctor Who since 2017, but I kind of feel like watching it. It's like the old series. I don't think I want to watch the new one again. I kind of just want to watch the old stuff, see how it is, because for some reason, I don't remember what came over me, but the Blu-ray collection release of season 9, John Pertwee season, was in what do you call it? JB Hi-Fi, my local JB Hi-Fi. Oh man, it feels good living in a city with a JB Hi-Fi. And I bought it while it was like Black Friday, or not Black Friday, it was like Queen's birthday or something where it was like 20% off, so I got it cheaper. I don't know why, I just was like, I kind of want to get this for my collection. And the same thing happened with the Macra Terror, which, as you might know, I love that cereal because big crib. But I watched a clip of it and was like, this is kind of cool. And I showed it to my flatmates because it was very silly. It was a very silly clip. And I was like, I'm still out of Doctor Who at this point. From like 2017, I had just not liked the show at all. I hadn't watched a single episode. And the classic series, I'd seen quite like a fair amount, like a good 10, 15, maybe even 20 like classic serials out of the 150 or so that they are. or is it 180? Whatever. And I figured this is something I'm not so invested in that I don't want to make a review of it, because things that I love dearly that I wanted to make videos on, like Ratchet and Clank, Kung Fu Panda 2. For some reason I keep coming back to that. I got tipsy one night and wrote this massive script about Kung Fu Panda 2 and never made it, like the Rambo video, so I might make that one day. Anyways, but classic Doctor Who, something that I was so new to and didn't really care that much about, that I was like, I could turn that into a review series, because that way I could practice writing scripts and editing and actually making reviews, and then, because there's a lot of it, that can be something I do regularly. And for the last 2.5 years, last 2.5 years, that's what I've done. I've had 3 breaks, first of which was when the laptop I used to edit died. Exact same scenario as 2017, where I have footage on a laptop that is bust. You know, the top 10 best and worst movies of 2017, where I had the footage, but I didn't have it on a USB drive or something. It was stuck on this dead laptop. So I ended up splitting the payment and paying for... It's got an Uber notification. I don't use Uber. Why is Uber sending me a notification in the middle of a live stream? Anyways, so I had the footage of all these Doctor Who reviews on the laptop. And so I think we split it like 150 each. It was like $300 to fix it, whatever, because I was borrowing my partner's laptop at the time to make the reviews. And thankfully, got back into making them. That was about partway through the second Doctor, I think. So yeah, this is pretty much me for the last year or so, year and a half. Again, interspersed with a couple of guides, and obviously it's still live music. Like, I really got into local bands. Like, pretty much since moving to Wellington, really. Like because seeing Holiday turning into Holloway, like every band that opened for them, pretty much I would get into, and I've gotten into so many of them since. Like Foley's the big one. So Holloway and Foley are my favourite, but then you got like Josie Moon, Navy, Shawboy, who's my most recent discovery. Absolutely love them so much. You got Tahini Bikini, Sophia McRae, I think's her last name. I could list them all, but I'm so tired from talking at a camera for so long. What's the time? It's 4:30. It's 4:30 p.m. Day's almost over. I spent half the day rambling at the screen. Anyways, the Wake Up, Bad Schematics. So many. I'm gonna forget some, and then I'll be rewatching this later. Like, how could you forget Pale Lady, Stray Dogs, Finger Tight, Blinder, Bleeding Star, Mermaidens. Are there any big ones I'm forgetting? Oh, too tired. Anyway, I'm just ranting about local music, but that was cool. I like seeing a lot of local bands now. Budget Cucks, that's another one. What are they called? Don't Change Your Maiden Name. Oh, they're just called Maiden Name. Yeah, they're the good ones. Sam Cullen. Just lots of really good local New Zealand bands. Anyway, so that's pretty much what I'm doing, is creating Doctor Who reviews with my ratties while living in Wellington, great city. So the first break I had to take was when the laptop died, which was around about this time. Second Doctor. And then the second big break I took, thankfully it was like Christmas time, so I was working a lot of Christmas of 2021, so it kind of worked out that I didn't have like lots of hours, and it kind of worked out because I had lots of hours at work. This is a rat having a munch. It's very cute. His name is Frost. Love rats. So I didn't have much time to edit, so it was kind of good the laptop was dead. And then after that, got back into making reviews for a while, reviews, and then The Abominable Snowman was like the next review that I had to do. And because the animation, the modern like reanimation, was set to release on Blu-ray around the same time, I figured I would wait for that to come out. But of course, it comes out in the UK months before New Zealand and Australia. So I had this massive like 2-month wait where I really wanted to keep going. I wasn't doing anything else at the time. Or maybe playing Dying Light 2, which was a lot of fun. But like, I didn't have anything else that I was working on. I'm like, why can this not just release? And it finally released, and I got back into making reviews. I got back into it, and there it is. All that for 88 views. But I don't care. The fact that this is what I've been doing now, and again, I still don't consider myself a YouTuber or a Whotuber, but at this point, I was slowly crawling up. I'd finally gone from like 500 views, 500 subscribers in 2013, and I worked my way up to about 800 by the time I moved to Wellington. And I uploaded a short, whereas it was another one of my... Actually, that's probably, even though it's short, it's probably my second most viewed thing. Halloween Ends is terrible. I was walking out of the movie Halloween Ends on Halloween. I had the Halloween mask. I recorded a short saying that sucked. And 65,000 views. And for some reason, that got me over 1,000. I got like, it wasn't 700. That's way too much because it's more than I've got now. But it was hundreds and hundreds of new subscribers just after I uploaded that. So I hope I don't have like 300 Halloween fans that are subscribed to me. Like, what the heck is this guy doing talking about local Wellington bands and Doctor Who? But yeah, and that's when I made the funny little 1,000 subscriber world record where I deliberately dressed like a D-bag. Like I got the backwards cap and the singlet. I'm like, what's up, guys? We broke a record. The slowest channel to reach 1,000 views. But yes, and then the third time I ever took a break from YouTube was shortly after this. Went to see The Killers with my buddy Taylor, who got to go up on stage and drum with them again. So cool. Probably the best concert I've ever been to. Both times The Killers. First time because I think it was the first concert I went to with my partner, and the second time because I got to go with my friend and I got to see my friend go up on stage and record with The Killers, and then I got to record it. Good times. And it was about the end of the good times. So sure, at this point I had depression, like diagnosed depression for about 2 years, but I had medication to help and stuff. So I had this review series and it was all going according to plan-ish. Then coming near the end of 2022, literally the last day of 2022, my partner and I came to the mutual decision to split after 8.25 years together. I won't go into it. It's just, you grow together for a while and eventually you grow apart. It's like, it sucks, but that's where I'm at this year. So 2023 has been the me single year. So anyway, that was the third, and to this day, final time I've taken a break from reviews. Because I remember I had the Space Pirates done. No, Seeds of Death. So there were 2 more reviews, I think. Yes, because I was still shaving. And then when I was single, I'm like, I just won't shave for a while until I feel it necessary. So you can see I've got the stubble, and that's when my beard came back for the third and final time. Anyways, more concerts, and again, Red Hot Chili Peppers, the Eddie song, which at this point was still recently new, 40,000. It's my second most viewed video, I think, at this point, because it's a tribute to Eddie Van Halen, and because the guitarist is awesome, John Frusciante, and people love it. So, getting back on topic, the third break I had is because for the last since 2017 actually, so 5 years, I was always borrowing my partner, now ex-partner's laptop to do my reviews. And she was lovely enough to let me use her personal computer. Like, now that I have my own, I'm like, I would never let anyone use this. So the fact that she let me use hers for 5 years to make silly YouTube videos is awesome. So I cleared off all my stuff from there, and it didn't feel right, because we were still living together while I tried to find a place. But I didn't feel right using her laptop anymore to make my videos. So I had another. It was a quick break because I essentially I managed to sort out, like, got myself in debt again with mom and dad to get my own laptop, and I did. It was the first time I've ever owned a laptop. It's a cheap little thing, but it runs DaVinci Resolve a little bit better, so I can do up to usually about 3 or 4 special effects shots in my reviews, which are essentially just a video clip played over me talking. So there you go. It's still Windows Movie Maker, just with some DaVinci Resolve clips over top. So I got back into it in time for the third Doctor, if I skip through all the live music. So yeah, you can see I've got the beard. I'm single. And so, if I could just double check when the timing is.
Book flights and earn points on any airline loyalty program at WebJet.
Don't you love adverts? Don't you love adverts so much? It's an ice cream ad. Okay, so major epilepsy warning on this one, folks. Why is there an epilepsy warning in the War Games? So 27th of January, yeah, so like the start of the year, and I pre-made these reviews a little while ahead of time. So that was like my last one for a wee while, 27th of January. And I was going to be a big break. Like I even said in the end, like, I don't know when I'll get back to this, but I love doing it. I didn't even have a thumbnail for the next one. It's 27th of January, and then the next one is Spearhead from Space. Look at that beard. 24th of February, yeah, so it was less than a month. But still, considering the fact that I had done like weekly reviews since then. So this means since the 24th of February of this year, I haven't missed a single weekly upload until this week. Yep. I doubt anyone is watching this as it gets uploaded. I've had like one consistent viewer this whole time, Someone else has just joined and liked the video, so thank you whoever that is. But the only people in the chat has been Nathaniel Foga about half an hour ago saying hi. Not in a particularly great place mentally this week. So it's looking like going to be the first week since February that I'm going to miss a weekly upload, a weekly Doctor Who review, because this has been me since the start of the year. Aside from live footage and I think 3 concerts that I prepaid for before I, had no money. It's all classic Doctor Who reviews, baby. A couple of shorts that I experimented with for a while. I could talk about these, but that would just be boring you at this point. Talking about like each review and, oh man, just looking at all these live videos. I love these. I recommend checking these out. Just go through some of my live recordings catalogs and they're fun. But yeah, we're up to this week. Last week, the Robots of Death, 50 views. That's not bad. Again, like I said, way back at the very start of this 2-hour-long thing, the fact that I even got this, my goodness, where is it? The 10 years of birthdays in one video, like, made. I won't say miracle, but like, that was, my goodness. And then again, the Paramore video last week or the week before, 2 weeks ago. Yeah, the fact that I actually made those were great. So instead of getting a nice, well-crafted 10 years of the Dirvinator, 13 years on YouTube video, and then a progressive week talking about my most viewed videos, my unmade videos, and even releasing some of my unreleased videos, like the zombie short film, which I didn't even talk about at all in this, and the first ever YouTube video, which I'll tell you now was just me talking about Angry Birds USBs. Yeah, USB drives, all Angry Birds ones. That video exists. It's on my hard drive somewhere. And I think I was going to try and finish the Santa's Christmas in New Zealand, because that started in Christmas of 2014, and then for the next couple of years I recorded more, but never finished them, because I just ran out of ideas. But today I woke up feeling pretty rough, so I just stayed in bed and listened to music till after lunchtime, and I had on my reminders, hey, it's 10 years of Dirvinator, even though it's not 10 years to the day I changed the name, so I figured I would just do a little live stream. Or I knew it was going to be long, maybe an hour. I didn't think it would be 2.25 hours long of me just talking non-stop to the camera. I guess this shows that I could probably be a presenter and just non-stop talk, non-stop ramble. I'll be alright mentally. I'll be fine. Always will be. I mean, I have your good days and bad days, and I do still have good days, and I will continue to have good days. But today, I was supposed to record it yesterday, the footage for the Talents of Wen Chiang review, and I was supposed to do it the day before on Monday, but I just didn't. And so today I was like, right, you got 2 things to do. I've got to record the footage for the Talents of Wen Chiang and start editing it and just do a little live stream. I did a little live stream, 2.25 hours. It's now 4:45 p.m. The sun will be going down. Bad lighting is a big thing with me, and it's kind of hard living in a shoebox to get good lighting. So I don't think I'm going to record. Well, I know I'm not going to record my review now. Why? Because my throat hurts. Because I've been talking non-stop for 2.25 hours to the camera, and that's not a complaint. That's just me saying, yeah. And I already feel bad enough about this review that I'm going to make because of various reasons and reasons behind why the story I'm talking about is controversial. So yeah, this will be my first week since, was it 24th of February that I've missed an upload. It has gotten like 3 times as hot in this room. It is stinking hot, and I've just remembered the reason I'm wearing this shirt is because this morning I found out that Shawboy are doing a free gig. A free gig. It's free. Hence why I wore this shirt. So not only am I not going to record the footage because record the review because my throat is sore and it's getting dark, but because I'll have a show to go to in a few hours, which, yay, that'll make me feel good and happy. And the fact that this is made, I seriously doubt anyone has sat through all of this, but if you have, you now know the complete history of, well, not a complete rambling history of the Dirvinator. 13 years on YouTube to the day. And just over 10 years going by the name The Dirvinator. My current, after Genie 400 was Nathaniel Foga and Arcade on Luminous, and now I've got a whole little group of Doctor Who reviewers like Andrew Bowman, Daniel, Lucy, of course I'm going to forget their names. But like, well, forget the actual names. Like I remember the usernames, like Sherlock and Matthew Voltho Jones. Anyway, I still very much enjoy making videos. Don't get me wrong, I would have loved to have gotten into acting professionally, but the fact that I still get to do some kind of performance, like be on camera and have a small regular viewership of 30 to 40 people means the world to me. Thank you very much for watching. If you watched the entire thing, put a koala or a panda emoji in the comments. There you go. Koala or a panda. I'm still friends with my ex. I have loving parents and a brother and a 16-year-old cat that's still alive, all in a different city. I'm friends with the members of Holloway. I have a great job with good people that I work with, so I have a lot to be thankful for. My faith is still strong. My mental health is struggling, but like, could be worse. I have a roof over my head. Even though it's a tiny shoebox, I like it. And this thing that's been not most consistent in my life, but the fact that this YouTube channel is still here and that I've dedicated so much time to it after all these years. I don't know why I do it, but I do. And I love it. I love making videos for YouTube. How do you stop a live stream? I don't know. Thank you for watching. Don't forget the platypus and koala emoji.